Test, test, 1, 2. There we go.
That had to have done it.
Can you hear me now?
Hopefully.
Oh, wait.
Hopefully. Yes. All right. Crisis averted.
Who would have thought the one video game I streamed I did like 3 years ago would come back to help me? Okay. Alrighty. So, how long do we have on the current song and/or commercial break? Okay, we can just go then. That'll be fine. Yeah, sounds good to me. Well, I'll just go ahead and keep you right here on the line. Or else otherwise, I'll just have to call you back in like a minute. Kind of pointless. Why does set and reset like that? I never had to set it like that.
Have to write that one down for next time too.
Yeah, it's just open settings and set it to USB codec or whatever it was. And once again, good evening to you and yours. We are here at Tiger Stadium for today's homecoming contest. It will be the Waynesville Tigers taking on the Hillcrest Hornets. Connor Harbin here alongside Garrett Bowles right here on Z102.3. Glad you could join us here today, as actually we might have ourselves the national anthem here real quick. We've actually got our band out on the field. Actually, I know what's coming up here. Homecoming activities. It is homecoming this week, and of course, Waynesville looking to get back in the win column here today. They have dropped their last 3 straight games. So this is a game, though, Garrett, that they could win. Hillcrest coming in winless here today. Both teams hungry for a win, but Waynesville, it's a good chance for them here tonight.
You're absolutely right. Coming in right now, 1-4 on the season is the Tigers. The Hillcrest Hornets 0-5, and I think these are kind of the best types of games that we have in high school. I mean, you have, of course, the shootouts between 2 top teams, Waynesville and Hillcrest, building to that eventually. But 2 teams meeting like this who are hungry for a win, or at least the first win of the season. If you're talking about the Hillcrest Hornets, these are 2 teams who are hungry. These are 2 teams who are going to fight for every yard, every turnover, everything they can get to end up in the win column. These are both teams who are desperately wanting a win tonight.
Yeah, and of course, both teams are part of the Ozark Conference. So despite the records, there's going to be a lot of talent on that football field here tonight. Of course, For Waynesville, you've got the running backs who are really starting to make an impact, even against some of the tougher teams we faced over the past few weeks. You know, one of the recurring trends, the recurring themes, if you will, has been that Waynesville's been able to drive the ball. Unfortunately, though, the drives, they've kind of stalled out once they get into opposing territory. But Hillcrest, they have a young defense. So this is another good opportunity for Waynesville to maybe try to finish off those drives, to take the next step and really work on once you get into the 30, the 20, maybe even the red zone here tonight. So we'll have to wait and see. But this is a good chance to really kind of see how good of a week of practice they had here before homecoming, I should say.
It certainly is, and it's got to be, at least on some level, a mental thing for the Waynesville Tigers at this point. A couple of games in a row now where once they get down into the opponent's 30 and 20 and even close to the goal line, things just don't work out for you. And you can dispel that with a game or two of, oh, maybe we didn't have a great practice, maybe the other team just kind of out physical and out muscled us. But 3 weeks in a row having a hard time moving the ball past the 30, there's got to be a mental blockage there. And if they can break that tonight against the Hillcrest Hornets, I think it's going to prove to be a big thing for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and of course, this is going to be an opportunity to score some points. Hillcrest defense on the year allowing over 50 points a game. Waynesville, the offense averaging around 18, 20 points a game themselves. Definitely the game against Parkview, definitely the game against Glendale, kind of helping that along. The last 3 games, though, just about an average of 12 or so. 8 against Camdenton, 8 against Kickapoo. We're able to get into the end zone twice against Lebanon last week. So we'll see if they kind of right the ship here, get back in that win column. Because the next few weeks, you and I were talking about this, they are a set of winnable games. You have Bolivar, you have Rolla, then you have West Plains, who might prove to be a little bit tougher than the last 2. But this is the stretch of the schedule where Waynesville can really kind of put it all together. You can get back close to 500 if you do win the games you're supposed to.
You certainly can, and if they go on a win streak here for the next 3 weeks, that is going to be very important, not just for the overall record, but for playoff seeding. I mean, I do not want to see Camdenton. I don't want to see Lebanon in the playoffs, especially in the first round. If we can get a decent draw of maybe a Glendale team that the Tigers played very well at the beginning of the season, who knows? It's kind of like baseball getting into the wild card game. You sneak in there, maybe not the best team in the world throughout the regular season. You sneak in there, and then you let the playoff football kind of take control because playoffs can get a little crazy. I know I'm looking forward to that, and this is where that starts. You definitely don't want to go into the playoffs against a very high-seeded team, and you have to start making inroads in that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And as it stands, Waynesville is 6th in the district standings, above Branson, who, of course, are struggling a little bit themselves, but it's not a huge gap between Waynesville and Branson. So you got to win this one here tonight. You got to look forward to Bolivar and Rolla, but, of course, it starts here. You can't really focus on the Liberators. You can't really focus on the Bulldogs. It's all about the Hornets, because the Hornets, they do put up points themselves. Last week, we're able to put up 20 against a solid opponent in Rolla, I do believe. And so if you kind of get a little bit lazy, you kind of walk in expecting to defeat the winless team, they can really bite you. We saw the same thing against Parkview. Parkview came out very strong against Waynesville. Can't let that happen here tonight.
You certainly can't. The Tigers have kind of their offense, I think, is going to be key here tonight. You have kind of a I don't want to say wounded animal, but whenever you have a team like that who is really reeling on the past couple of games, really throughout the season, you got to score fast. We talked about that with Parkview. We talked about that with a couple of other winnable games against some pretty still good teams this season. You have to come in early, and you have to show that you are really prove to yourselves and prove to the Hillcrest Hornets that you are better than them and that you are going to show it throughout the game here tonight. And I think that's going to be the absolute key. Come in here, show that you are dominant, show that you have the big guys on both sides of the line like Nico Fowl, show you have athletes like Chase Thomas Plummer, Michael Kelsey Jr., the 2 quarterbacks. Show that you are going to outdo this team almost every way that you can, and you have to prove that as soon as possible.
Absolutely. So, of course, we have got ourselves a couple of coaches interviews to get to here. Of course, homecoming activities taking place on the field, currently crowning the homecoming royalty here tonight. But we're going to go ahead and take a 60-second timeout. And then, of course, our very own Marv Luton got an opportunity to speak with Coach Barkley ahead of today's game with the Hillcrest Hornets. Of course, you'll hear Coach Barkley's thoughts heading into tonight's matchup. But again, 60 seconds in, coach's interview, 60 seconds out, and back to us. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And welcome back here once again to Tiger Stadium. We are about 16 and a half minutes away from kickoff today's homecoming matchup. The Waynesville Tigers, they play host today to the Hillcrest Hornets. Connor Harbert here with you today, Z102.3. Of course, you heard Marv Luton. He got an opportunity to speak with Coach Barkley ahead of today's game. And you might have noticed the team on the mend. Haven't had a few injuries for the last couple of weeks, at least on the field. Sounds like a couple players are also starting to heal up here as well. Garrett, that obviously kind of bodes well for the team here ahead of their homecoming matchup.
It certainly does. You know, it's always tough starting the season when you have a couple people on the injury list, but I think you can find the silver lining later in the season. Though a lot of those guys are coming in now with maybe some fresh legs, maybe a brand new set of a brand new mindset. You know, the Tigers have had a tough couple of losses in the past couple of games, but I think maybe the people coming back from those injuries, they weren't a part of those losses. Doesn't affect them whatsoever. They're going to go in and kind of play hard, and I'm sure all the rest of the Tigers are going to as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You're going to have these players coming off of the injury list, or you're going to have these players who are starting to heal up. They're going to be hungry. They want to pick up those stats. They want to kind of make up for lost time. But as we've really mentioned the last few weeks, when we've had that more injury-battered roster, the next guys up, we've seen significant improvement out of several of those players. Of course, we always mention Michael Kelsey Jr. He's kind of been the one in the forefront of all this as one of those featured backs, but there are several other players as well who have really kind of stepped into the spotlight themselves. So that really kind of helps things out. If you have multiple players who can take a position at any spot, like you've heard Coach Barkley mention a couple weeks prior, you have players who can play multiple positions. So you have more options, and that always bodes well when you can really kind of swap to the personnel you need at any given time. So we have ourselves another coach's interview on the way. Have to kind of jet off to that one here as we're about 14 and a half minutes away. We've got ourselves a sit-down interview. Our very own Garrett Bowles. He was able to sit down with Hillcrest head coach Lee Coleman and talk about his squad ahead of tonight's matchup. So again, 1 minute in, coach's interview, 1 minute out, and back to us here at Tiger Stadium. Waynesville and Hillcrest. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And once again, welcome back here to Tiger Stadium, where we are about 3.5 minutes away from opening kickoff in today's homecoming contest. Again, it is going to be the Waynesville Tigers at home playing against the Hillcrest Hornets. It's been a while since we've been back here to Tiger Stadium, but so glad we are back. Of course, Connor Harbor here with you, Garrett Bowles as well, Z102.3. We have got two teams hungry for a win. Waynesville 1-4 on the year. Hillcrest, they are 0-5, but of course, we're not the only game going on here tonight. You've got several other games as well. So with a little bit of time that we have left, want to go ahead and go over the slate of games into tonight's schedule. Of course, a lot of teams hosting their homecomings this week as well, but on the ranked front, of course, ranked teams in the Ozark Conference. Hopefully it comes up. Yes, it did. So no problems here today, but we do have some ranked matchups in the Ozark Conference. Number 4, Lebanon, taking on Glendale here today. An interesting matchup, of course, kind of taking a look at some picks. A lot of people doing predictions. Some people picking Glendale for that matchup. I feel like it's really kind of bold, but we'll see how it goes there today. Of course, Lebanon and Glendale, two teams that we've already seen thus far this year. Number 6, Camdenton, they are taking on Bolivar here today. And, of course, West Plains, they are number 10 in Class 4. They are taking on Kickapoo here today. So another good matchup there. I remember seeing a lot of divided opinions about that West Plains Kickapoo matchup. So our coin toss coming up here real soon. Today's captains. Looks like down there you've got Chase Thomas Plummer, you've got David Vernon, you've got Josh Bess, the captain today, and then of course Nico Fowl, a captain as well. And down there you have your 4 Hillcrest captains here as well. But the whole Waynesville front, the whole Waynesville Tigers team marching out onto the field themselves here. A nice show of solidarity. Again, this game, it means a lot, Garrett. It means a whole lot. Homecoming, a huge crowd. We've pretty much packed it in already in the stands. You want to look good, and you want to come out and win this football game. It never feels good to lose your homecoming game.
You're absolutely right. Homecoming is often looked at as one of the biggest games of the year, and for good reason. I mean, you have a lot of these players, you know, maybe grandparents and aunts and uncles who maybe don't usually get to make it out to the games to see them play live, but they'll hear about it maybe the next day or a couple of days later. But a lot of those relatives make it out here for the homecoming game. It's absolutely huge, and you're going to see players, like we already said, hungry for a win and hungry to prove themselves in front of what might be the biggest audience that Tiger Stadium has seen in this entire season, maybe negating the home opener a few weeks ago. This crowd is bumping. They are ready, and it looks like the coin toss is maybe taking place here real soon.
Yeah, we will get it here momentarily. There we go. We'll get the result here for you. As I remind you that the coin toss is brought to you by Security Banks. Toss your coins in Security Bank and watch your money grow. So it looks like Hillcrest will receive the opening kickoff, so we will get to see the Waynesville defense out first. And again, this is going to be a big test for the Waynesville defense. Again, the last couple weeks, they've been burned a little bit through the air. Hillcrest, they've gone through a few quarterbacks. This latest one, very much an aerial quarterback. We could see the Hornets go to the air a little bit. We'll see how this Waynesville secondary adapts.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about the quarterback who's going to be trotted out for the Hillcrest tonight, Cole Griesmer, he's a senior. He's number 11, and if you follow Missouri high school sports like we talked about in the coach's interview just a few moments ago, you know Cole Griesmer. He is a fantastic basketball player, which doesn't always necessarily translate perfectly to this high level of high school football, but that just speaks to his athleticism. He is not only going to throw it, he's going to run it around. Of course, listed at the beginning of the season as a wide receiver. He's about 6'6", if I recall correctly. He's a big guy, and the 0-7, or 0-5, I should say, on the Hillcrest record doesn't necessarily mean that they are completely undefeated. They've only had 2 games so far with this sort of new style of offense. So not a lot of game tape for the Tigers to study. And I think it's going to be really interesting these first 2 or 3 drives to see who sets the tone for this homecoming matchup.
So Mason Wright set to kick it away here for Waynesville. 1 player back to receive for the Hornets. That's going to be Zaquan Henderson. Going to stack the second line at about the 30, 25-yard line or so. Crowd's on their feet. I hope you're excited. I'm excited. I know Garrett's excited. I'll go ahead and speak for him.
Oh, yeah.
But homecoming week right here in Waynesville. Well, looks like a slight delay. Thought we were going to get it going. The fans were certainly ready. They were stomping. Now we get the whistle. And now we begin homecoming week as Wright kicks it away. Week 6 of the high school football season. Short kick can be fielded by Henderson about the 20-yard line. Up the left side of the field he goes. Going to be roped down eventually Good field position for the Hornets here at about the 39-yard line. So about a 19-yard return for Henderson. And again, we'll get a look here at this Hillcrest offense and what they've got going here, of course, led, like Garrett said, by the quarterback Cole Griesmer. So,
yeah, I'm really excited to see this team kind of change. They were very run-heavy at the beginning of the season with Dante Hall, one of the premier backs last year, but not really producing the same way that he wanted to at the very beginning of the season. Dante Sample, that is. That's why you were giving me a funny look. Dante Sample not producing, so they tried to switch it up, go with more of a pass-heavy offense. And let's see how that is here on the first play of the game.
Well, here we go. It's a 5-wide set, 4 wide receivers right. Griesmer takes a snap, going to go deep down the sideline. That ball's going to be well overthrown, though. And it looks like on the coverage on the first play of the game, down there, Chase Thomas Plummer actually had more of a chance to catch that one than the receiver.
Yeah, maybe the stomping of the Waynesville Tiger faithful kind of amped up Griesmer a little bit. He put an arm and a half into that throw, and unfortunately, no receiver underneath that one. Unfortunately for the Tigers, no defender there either.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, trying to check on that Waynesville secondary here early on. Remember, got beat on a couple of deep throws last week and the week before that. So, same formation here. Again, going to be 4 to the right here on 2nd down and 10. Griesmer with the snap, looking to his right this time on the out route. And that ball is going to be overthrown again. Intended receiver on the play that time, that was Jay Carrizales.
And that's something you see out a lot of these high school quarterbacks, maybe in their first couple of games. They get a little too amped up to start. That's 2 in a row now that maybe had a little bit too much arm behind it. It's not always about firing the ball in there as hard as you can. Sometimes you just got to hit a guy out of the flat or maybe a nice little slant route. You got to get this guy honed in and get him kind of in a rhythm. I'm expecting a shorter, more safe pass here on 3rd down.
Tyreek Brooks on the coverage on the previous play. 3rd down and 10. Ball still on the Hillcrest 38-yard line. Again, Griesmer going to go to the air. He's in a little bit of trouble, though. Contact made. He's going to throw as he falls, but it's going to fall right in the hands of Brooks. Up the left sideline he goes. He's got space. He is going to be, no, it's going to be ruled down as the whistle blows. Believe they whistled the play dead, so no touchdown. Hold on here. As they'll call him back. It's going to be 4th down. Did they say he was down? Did they say Griesmer was down? As they're going to back him up here about 8 yards or so. Still a positive result here, but that negates what would have been an interception for a touchdown. You still kind of hate to see it there, Garrett.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the forward progress on Griesmer was stopped and the whistle came early. He was throwing the ball as he went down, so maybe that knee went down a little bit sooner than I had originally thought. Still, that one got me hyped up for a minute, though, but like you said, still a good result if you're the Tigers.
Yeah, Griesmer on to punt the football away here on 4th down, and again about 18. Punts away. Solid punt, all things considered. Going to be fielded about the 36-yard line. Room on the left side. It's going to be Johnny Hedrick on the return. He's going to move over to the left sideline, and he's going to start the Waynesville's first drive in Hillcrest territory. Ball going to be at about the 40. We'll see where he stepped out of bounds. We'll see if they rule it. How about the 43-yard line?
And we were talking right before the game began about how exciting this first drive was going to be. You know, the Tigers' defensive backs in the secondary just haven't really shaped up as well as Coach Barkley and the rest of the team here necessarily would have liked. You'd love to see a 3-and-out right there to get the game going.
Yeah, 3 passes, 3 positive results all in all for the Waynesville defense. So pretty much how you want to start a ball game. Now we'll see how the offense goes. First carry of the game, Michael Kelsey Jr. already slashing into the secondary. He's got himself a first down. About 11 yards, a nice fake to Vernon. Takes it himself, gets the first down.
I am slightly ashamed to say that one got me. On the first play of the game, already fooling the broadcaster. That's hype right now for the Waynesville offense. I'm sure they're excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you said broadcaster. I followed that one all the way through. I know I've been the one who's been fooled the last couple times. Not there. So, 1st down and 10. Ball now on the Hillcrest 32-yard line. Waynesville a full shift to the left side of the ball. Ball right in the middle between the hashes. Direct snap, Michael Kelsey Jr. He loses the football, though, and it looks like Hillcrest recovers. So a bad snap, a bad handle, I should say. A good snap all in all. Kelsey Jr. unfortunately just not able to hang on, and that's going to give the ball right back over to the Hornets.
That's not good, to say the very least there. You have a great positive play, and I think this is what we were saying before the game, that mental block of getting down into around the 30-yard line. This has happened for the last 3 games in a row. It usually doesn't result in a turnover. It's usually a turnover on downs, going forward on 4th, but there, Kelsey just maybe a mental lapse right there. And like we said, with the Hornets, Griesmer kind of getting a little too much air under the ball. Same thing with Kelsey. I mean, it's a homecoming. They get excited, a little too amped up there. I wouldn't expect to see that carry on throughout the game.
Another 5-wide set here as Hillcrest takes over. First down and 10. Pocket collapsing, throw across the middle. Good coverage. That was Dalen Registe on the coverage. Across the middle of the field, knocks it down. Second down and 10.
And we only have a very small sample size, but I am impressed so far by the Waynesville secondary. Coach Barkley definitely sat them down this week and said, you remember the Camdenton game, you remember the Laker game? Not going to happen over here against Hillcrest. Definitely expecting a lot more out of his defensive backs, and so far they are delivering.
Yeah, against a 5-wide set, you're asking your secondary and your linebackers here to do some work as well. 2 safeties, 3 cornerbacks, though. 4-man defensive front for the Tigers. Again, going to the air, going to throw it out into the flat. Ball's caught, but immediately hit. Stays on his feet, though, as he dives back to the original line of scrimmage. Throwing it in the flat to the big boy, the fullback, Dante Sample. Tough to tackle. I think Johnny Hedrick, who originally was on the ball, was on the play. I think he learned that the hard way there. Kind of got trucked a little bit.
He did, and I mean, Hedrick, to his credit, did slow Sample enough to kind of let the rest of the defense get in there and stop him. So
absolutely,
obviously not a gain on the play. So you always love to see that, but I'm sure Hedrick was foaming at the mouth there for a tackle for loss. Not able to get it quite yet.
Yeah, it would have been about a loss of 5 where he was originally hit. But third down and 10, another third down here for the Hornets. Griesmer's first completion on the day. 4 wide out to the right, 1 to the left. Registe going to have to move over to the left side here to try to cover this 4th wide receiver. Moving out of the pocket, here's Griesmer trying to run with it, still on his feet. Going to be taken down, Josh Best with the quarterback sack. And another 4th down here. Again on 3rd down, Waynesville breaks through and comes up with the big play.
The offensive line was one of the biggest concerns for the Hillcrest Hornets coming into this ball game, and that's exactly why. Coach Lee Coleman is the name of the Hillcrest Hornets head coach. Almost forgot that one.
You talked to him, Garrett.
Maybe just a little bit, but I got to interview him. He said a lot of these linemen are 15, 16 years old. They're going against a bunch of 18-year-old men and 17-year-old dudes on the Waynesville Tigers sideline right now. It's a big difference. Griesmer definitely going to be in trouble if they can't shape up quickly.
Yeah, this is a very young Hillcrest squad. They've got some talent, but it is a young squad. And Waynesville taking advantage. 4th and 23, a sack for 13-yard loss on the previous play, but they're going to go for it. They're going to go for it, throw across the middle, and it's going to fall incomplete. That's going to give Waynesville wonderful field position. They're going to start this drive from the red zone. What do you think of that decision, Garrett?
It's very interesting. I think at the end of the day, the Hillcrest Hornets right now, you're 0-5. You have to kind of look at the big picture. You want to put trust in your guys. Number 13 was in the slot out there. That's Jude Cochran, who the intended receiver was there. You just kind of want to show your players that you're there for them and you're expecting them to kind of grow throughout the season.
So first down and 10 here, Waynesville. First drive ended in a turnover. We'll be hoping for a more positive result on this drive. Snap to Vernon, going to hand it off. Thomas Plummer juking off to his right, going to be hit. Pile going to form here at about the 16-yard line or so. Looks like that's where they'll mark it. Gain of 4. Second down and 6.
I was waiting to see when the first time CTP was going to get the ball. An angry runner, and you saw it right there. He had a Hillcrest Hornet and a half hanging onto his leg right there, just jumping, trying to get positive yardage whenever he can. That's what leads to a lot of the explosive runs that I expect from CTP, as does Coach Barkley and the rest of the crowd here tonight.
So again, second down and 6. Just over 8 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Man sent in motion. That's Dylan Smith to the right. Vernon takes a snap. Going to follow Smith through the hole. He's got some room. He's to the 5. He's going to juke to his left. Hear the Tiger roar. Touchdown, Waynesville. Daven Vernon was kind of held a little bit last week against Lebanon. Not the case this week. He will put Waynesville on the board with a 16-yard touchdown run.
And for the last 2 or 3 weeks, really a big negative in the Waynesville offense has been that quarterback run. You know how badly they want to get Bishop, Godwin, and Daven Vernon both in there running. It just adds another level of the offense. The last 3 weeks, not able to do it. Here tonight, a huge thing for the Tigers.
And, of course, that touchdown by the Waynesville Tigers means another $25 donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Ed Morse Ford. Here's a direct snap. Michael Kelsey Jr., he trots in for 2. Ed Morse Ford, always a big supporter of the Waynesville schools. Find out what it means. to be backed by more. So 8-0 our score with 8 minutes left to go here in quarter number 1. We'll take 60 seconds. We'll be right back. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Solid return up the left sideline as we get back to it here. A 16-yard touchdown run. David Vernon puts Waynesville on the board. They lead the Hillcrest Hornets here in homecoming week 8-0. 7:53 left to go in the quarter. Connor Harbin here with you alongside Garrett Bowles as well on the return. Gage Cisco going to start the Hornets here. First down and 10. Ball on the 39-yard line. Hillcrest, they've had solid field position to start their last couple of drives. They haven't been able to gain any yards just yet. So far, the Waynesville secondary, the Waynesville defensive line, they have been superb in getting to the quarterback, pressuring the quarterback, of course, Cole Griesmer. Different look here. Going to have a halfback in the backfield this time. Otherwise, 4 wide receivers set. Griesmer still going to go to the air, though, looking to his right in some trouble. He's going to lose the football. It looks like Waynesville might have fallen on it. It's a fumble and a fumble recovery. Waynesville's got the football.
We wanted them to start off hot. They have done that in this game, forcing a 3-and-out, forcing a huge sack, and then another 3-and-out, or a 4-and-out, I should say, on the failed 4th down conversion, and now a fumble on the first drive here from the 30. That is just huge for this Waynesville defense, who has not been playing up to expectations as of late. Here, starting to march back on those. On the original hit, J.J. Rodriguez falling on the football. Ian Shepard with the fumble recovery, and of course, that'll give Waynesville first down and 10. Ball on the 28-yard line. Direct snap, Michael Kelsey Jr. fakes the handoff. Up the middle he goes. Hit, gains a few yards. Make it about 3 on first down. Second down and 7. Tigers got to be amped up right now, and you can hear the buzz in the crowd right now. Y'all likely talking about the game, I'm sure. I mean, this is a very amped up homecoming crowd. You love to see it on high school football games. It is legitimately packed. There is not a whole lot of bleacher room here tonight. So, your average ordinary homecoming, pretty much. Everybody in the community here. Of course, several events today. Lots of traffic. Garrett, you and I both experienced that here today. Second down and 7. 7:08 left to go in the quarter. Snap. Kelsey Jr. moving to his left. Has some room. Going to try to get to the sideline. Now cuts it back in. To the 20 he goes. Before he's taken down, it'll be third down. Third down and about 2 upcoming here for the Tigers. Trying to get it to the outside a little bit, and whenever those inside runs are successful, outside runs like that are huge, and they can break for big plays. Coach Barkley, like we said earlier, with the quarterback run, has been having a little bit of trouble establishing that in the past few games. Now that he has that established, the outside runs, the stretches, the jet sweeps, all of that now coming into play. So third down and 2. First third down today for Waynesville, but it is third down and short. Big shift moving to the right. Hillcrest not going to jump on it. Here's a direct snap. Kelsey Jr. up the middle. He's got the yardage. He's to the 15, almost to the 10. It'll be first down and, well, not first down and goal just yet, but still, you get those 10 yards, you might as well just make it into the end zone anyway. First down and 10, ball on the 12-yard line. Very true. I'm really impressed with the blocking so far. The run blocking, of course, specifically for the Tigers. Kelsey and CTP definitely deserve a lot of credit, but the holes that they are running through, you could park a truck through right now. So again, first down and 10. CTP sent in motion. Vernon moving to the right, looking towards the air. Now going to chuck one up towards the end zone. Going to be a jump ball. That ball is caught. That ball is going to be caught. Touchdown. Hear the Tiger roar. Josh Bess on the reception.
12 yards, Vernon to Bess. A combination that's really been cooking as of late. Waynesville not going to the air too much, but Bess, he's been Vernon's favorite target. They find him in the end zone here for a 14-0 lead.
And that, you can just tell Tigers having fun right now, wanting to push the issue, get a lead going and get it growing as fast as physically possible, making it as big as physically possible. This is a huge statement right now, and a statement game for Bess, who I just said a few moments ago off air, doing all the little things throughout the season. Now those have kind of amounted to big things with the touchdown catch there.
2-point conversion, Michael Kelsey Jr. up the middle he goes. Put another 2 on the board. So with 5:57 left to go here in quarter number 1, Waynesville leads this one over Hillcrest 16-0. So just a reminder that touchdown by the Waynesville Tigers means another $25. Donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Edmore's Ford of St. Robert. Waynesville, Edmore's Ford. Always a big supporter of the Waynesville schools. Find out what it means to be backed by more. So we're going to go ahead and keep it locked in here, of course. Big thank you to Edmore's Ford, of course, for sponsoring each Waynesville touchdown this season. This is a perfect start. We have not seen Waynesville, Garrett, take a snap beyond their own 50, in their own territory just yet. The defense is stifling. They've got a turnover on downs. They've got 2 turnovers now. This is about as good of a start as any football team's ever going to get.
You're absolutely right. Barring that one fumble, that one mistake by Kelsey earlier in the game, this has been flawless for the Tigers, and it's really, really impressive to see them come back after a fumble like that, Kelsey specifically, and make a touchdown. He's been fantastic, as has the rest of the team. Right,
going to kick it away here. Ball bounces around the 20. Ball still loose. Pyle's going to form it. It looks like it is going to be recovered here as Henderson does fall on the football. Waynesville almost another opportunity to recover what was a muffed kick. Ball bounced in front of Henderson. Had a little bit of trouble picking it up, but was eventually able to fall on it. So the Hornets take over 1st down and 10. Ball on their own 24-yard line. Waynesville hustling, though. You like the hustle there. You like the drive to fall on that football. Almost a pseudo onside kick.
It certainly was, and Mason Wright put that one absolutely perfectly. I mean, you know the old baseball expression, hit them where they ain't. Mason Wright kicked them where they weren't, you could say right there. Just kind of getting the special teams off balance a little bit on the Hillcrest side of things.
So Griesmer going to bring the offense back up to the line here. 4 wide receivers left. Looking to the left here on 1st down. Quarterback draw, going to tuck. Now going to look to pass. Throw, that ball's going to be picked off. There's some room here. Is he going to find his way in? Reaches out. Did he make it? He's going to be, I believe, 1 yard shy. So close on the interception. But on said interception, that was going to be Cam Wilson. Gets the interception from the linebacker spot.
Oh, man, and the joy on the faces of the Waynesville Tigers is more than I have ever seen from them this season. Throughout, this is the biggest win so far that they have had throughout the season. Parkview was good. Parkview had some explosive plays. We have not seen the defense erupt like this in a long time. They did right there. That was impressive.
Yeah, obviously still a little bit of football left to be played, but the ball's going to be placed on the 1 yard line. I think you meant to say start.
Yes, I certainly meant to say
5:43 left to go in quarter number 1. Here's a handoff jet sweep cutting up here. Thomas Plummer going to be finding himself in a bit of trouble. He's actually going to lose maybe a couple yards here. 1st down and goal from the 1. Make it 2nd down and goal here, maybe from the, we'll see where this 4 momentum stopped. I think they're going to go ahead and give him the 3 yard line. It's a loss of 2.
A quick little loss of 2 there, just kind of trying to punch it in here, finish off the drive. It was something the Hillcrest coach on the other side of things was talking to me on. The Hillcrest Hornets have had success getting turnovers. It's kind of been about converting on those turnovers and capitalizing on them, I should say. Waynesville now finds himself in a situation where they should be able to do that as well.
Yeah, already 3 turnovers for the Waynesville Tigers, and we are only 7 minutes into this one. Here's a snap. Thomas Plummer, direct snap, takes it in. Hear the Tiger roar. Touchdown, Waynesville.
And the good start continues for the Waynesville Tigers. We're only about 7 minutes into the 1st quarter, already up by 22 points, and that looks to expand right now as, of course, Tiger football going for 2 here.
Yeah, Tiger football always goes for 2. That touchdown by the Waynesville Tigers means another $25 donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Edmore's Ford of St. Robert, Waynesville. Edmore's Ford, always a big supporter of the Waynesville schools. Find out what it means to be backed by Morse. So lining up for 2 here, wing back to the right. It's going to be Tyreek Brooks, but it's going to be Vernon who fakes the handoff. He's going to trot on in himself once again. So put another 2 on the board. 3 tries at it and 3 successes. And they're going to lead this one here by a score of 24-0. 4:51 to go here in quarter number 1. Again, your score, Waynesville 24, Hillcrest nothing. Back in 60 seconds, you're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again, 4:44 left to go in quarter number 1. Waynesville out in front by 3 scores, 24-0. So far here over the Hillcrest Hornets, a touchdown run, a touchdown pass, and a touchdown run once again. 3 different scores here today for Waynesville. Of course, Vernon, the only repeat score. He's got 1 through the air and 1 on the ground here as well. But Hillcrest takes over again, first down and 10, ball on the 36-yard line. Again, it's Griesmer, shotgun formation, no backs in the backfield, 4 wide receivers left. Takes a snap, looking towards his left. Short throw here, a little high. Ball's tipped out of bounds, it'll be second down and 10.
And I do like the play call there from Coach Coleman, kind of just wanting to ease his quarterback into the game here. An interception, a couple of sacks. You can't get 24 scores back in one drive, though. You got to kind of ease your way back into it. We've seen a lot bigger comebacks in the Ozarks Conference recently, so this game is by no means over, especially if Griesmer and his wide receivers can kind of get on the same page. An offense that can pass the ball is a dangerous offense no matter what the lead is.
Yeah, absolutely. Always explosive, always looking for that man down the field. So 4 wide receivers right. Griesmer making some pre-snap adjustments. Play clock down to about 5. Second down and 10. Ball on the 36-yard line. Taking the snap. Tucks and runs. He's looking to carry it. And he's going to slide here around the first down marker. It's a gain of about 8. So Hillcrest, and this really speaks to the dominance so far of the Waynesville defense. That is the first positive play Hillcrest has been able to gather here. A gain of 8 for Griesmer. Again, can run the football. And that'll set up third down and about, looks like they gave him third down and 3. Looks like a gain of 7 after all.
Yeah, he's an athlete. I mean, anybody who follows high school sports in Missouri knows Cole Griesmer from the basketball side. Didn't play his freshman year, but got back into it into his sophomore and junior year. Now the starting quarterback. What a turnaround.
Big, tall, and fast is Griesmer. Looking to the air once again. Tucking it, but in a little bit of trouble, and he's going to be taken down well behind the line. Another quarterback sack here for the Tigers. And it looks like getting to him there. That was going to be Yadil Santana with the sack this time round. The 3rd sack of the game for the Tigers, and it's going to be 4th down here in about 6.
The defensive line, something that the Tigers really wanted to focus on in the offseason, losing a couple of the big guys up front to graduation. It was kind of a mix and match throughout the beginning of the year, but they're just kind of finding their stride right now.
So Hillcrest going to come to the line here, 4th down and 6, 5 wide. So looking to go for it again. Last time they tried it, Waynesville was able to create the turnover on downs. Griesmer again tucking it, running off to the left, but he's roped down and he's sacked again. That's going to be another turnover on downs here for Waynesville. As the Tigers come back out on the field trying to get a number for you on the sack. It looks like the first one there, that might have been Jacob Forche on the sack. So a 4th sack now. 2 sacks in a row for Waynesville. Gets them the ball right back again in Hillcrest territory, right about the 36-yard line. So back to the original line of scrimmage for Hillcrest we go. So Waynesville makes to maybe make it a 32-point lead, 30-plus lead here before the end of the first quarter.
And Waynesville coming alive still. This has been such a great game to watch, and you want to have this for homecoming, for sure. You don't want to get stomped out. You don't want to have that score flipped on you in homecoming, for sure.
Kelsey Jr. with the direct snap here on first down. Has some room, has the first down. Now trying to cut it up to the left sideline. He's got room to the 10, the 5. Gonna dive for the pylon. Is he in? Hear the Tiger roar. Touchdown. Another touchdown here for Waynesville. This time from 36 yards out. Michael Kelsey Jr. His first touchdown run of the game.
And Kelsey was absolutely fantastic. That was not a straight line run by any means right there. Bobbing and weaving like Muhammad Ali for a little while over there, going back and forth from between the tackles, taking it all the way to the outside, finding his blocks, navigating traffic, all of that, plus great blocking by the offensive line, gets him into the end zone. Huge 36-yard run.
That touchdown by the Waynesville Tigers means another $25 donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Ed Morris Ford of St. Robert, Waynesville. Ed Morris Ford, always a big supporter of the Waynesville schools. Find out what it means to be backed by Morris. Michael Kelsey Jr. on the two-point conversion. Over a couple of Hillcrest Hornets he goes. Gets in there and makes it a 32-point lead. So another successful two-point conversion, 32-0 in favor of the Waynesville Tigers. And we still have 3:03 left to go here in quarter number 1. We'll be back here in 60 seconds. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger football right here on Z102.3. Ball on the kickoff, going to get past Zaquan Henderson, having to try to find a little bit of room here before he's eventually pushed out of bounds at about the 16-yard line, right? Another short kick, and of course, to paraphrase what Garrett said earlier, kicks it where they ain't. Hillcrest only one man back, kicking it towards the left sideline, took a friendly hop. Henderson not quite ready for it. Ball sails right on past, able to get a couple yards on the return, but ultimately, Hillcrest starting their latest drive deep in their own territory. 2:58 left to go here in quarter number 1. Waynesville up by 4 scores, 38-0. We have not had a play here in this first quarter that has taken place in Waynesville territory. Of course, good for you and I. Of course, located about the 30-yard line of, well, what is currently Hillcrest territory, but it's been a nice night to be a Waynesville Tiger faithful. So first down and 10. Griesmer 5 wide. Takes a snap, off to the left. Design screen, Henderson with the catch. Up the middle he goes here, loses the football, and Waynesville's got it again! It's Johnny Hendrick, and he's going to trot in for another Waynesville touchdown. Hear the Tiger roar! Another Waynesville turnover. This time, Johnny Hendrick takes it in for the score.
It's a special team tonight. Connor, I don't really even know what else to say. I mean, we've had more touchdowns tonight than we had wasps in the booth earlier, and there were a lot of them. This has been absolutely incredible for the Tigers to come out. It is not even the end of the first quarter yet. They already have several touchdowns up on the Hornets. Happy homecoming.
Happy homecoming indeed. 2:48 on the clock as they line up for the two-point conversion. Of course, that touchdown by the Waynesville Tigers means another $25 donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Ed Morris Ford of Waynesville St. Robert. Vernon takes the snap. Going to follow his blockers on through for another two-point conversion. Ed Morris Ford, always a big supporter of the Waynesville schools. Find out what it means to be backed by Morris. So make it a 40-point lead here for the Waynesville Tigers. 2:48 left to go here in quarter number 1. We'll take 60 seconds, be right back. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger football right here on Z102.3. 2:43 left to go. Hillcrest, a return of no yards, but going to start this drive at the 32-yard line. A short kick for Mason Wright. Kind of hopped its way into the hands, I believe, on that return for the Hornets. That was Jordan Tyndall. And so here comes the Hillcrest offense back out once again, but Waynesville up by 40. 3 turnovers, 5 sacks in the first quarter alone. It's been a night for the Waynesville defense. Pistol formation. Griesmer going to take the snap. Throw it to the right. Pass is caught. Going to get away. Flag thrown on the play. As that's going to be Amari Clark diving past the 40-yard line. We'll have to see, though, game's first penalty coming up here. Thrown well after. That ball left Griesmer's hands. So curious to see what this might be.
I'm not too sure. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a holding call. Linemen might be upset about their quarterback getting pressured so often.
It's going to be a penalty here against Waynesville, it looks like. At least that was the indication. And so, bit of a setback here for Waynesville, as that was initially going to be a gain of about 8 or so. But it looks like we may be approaching closer to midfield, if not outright past it. We'll see where we go, though. It's going to be hands to the face called against Waynesville. And so it is a penalty on the Tigers. And that is going to be a first down here for Hillcrest. Their first down of the game. Of course, we've had so many scores and so many turnovers and so many stoppages of play. We're only 10 minutes into this one. 2:33 left to go in quarter number 1. Just an outpouring as we're going to put that ball at about the 41-yard line. So, first down and 10. Ball on the 41. Again, going to that pistol formation. Lean back to the left, 2 to the right and 1 to the left. Griesmer going to hand it off here on first down. Lunging forward to about the 47-yard line. Again, that's going to be the big Dante Sample able to break through. So the first run play of the game for Hillcrest, first designed run, is a relatively successful one. They get 6.
Kind of giving you a sample of why he was listed so highly in all the preseason media outlet power rankings. He's a good runner, just hasn't really had the blocking throughout the course of the season. We'll see if they can get back to that here tonight.
Attaching a lot of words to that. Second down and 4, excuse me. Griesmer to the air, going across the middle. Pass is caught by a diving receiver. Out there, I believe that was Zaquan Henderson on the catch. First down, and here we go. First play of the game going to be played within Waynesville territory.
And I don't want to say the damage has already been done. It might be too little too late right now, but regardless, Griesmer in this offense starting to heat up a little bit maybe right here. I mean, that was a great pass into a pretty tight window. Very impressed by that one.
Yeah, very good ball there for Griesmer. First down and 10. Ball on the 34-yard line. Griesmer moving to his left. Here's a throw that's going to be picked off by Brooks. Trying to lift it over Brooks, and he comes down with it. How about another Waynesville turnover? Turnover number 4 as Brooks brings down his second pick of the night.
There goes the heating up on the Hillcrest Hornets.
That's a momentum killer, you're right.
And we've seen that on the other side with Waynesville all year long. Usually it's with penalties or blown up plays right there, kind of giving out what they've been dished out over the course of the season. As soon as you get into enemy territory, getting the ball taken away or the drive stalling out, Waynesville able to dish out what they've been eating all year.
Trying to lift the ball over Tyreek Brooks. The problem, Brooks is 6'3". It's very hard to lift one over a guy like that. So Waynesville taking over. First drive in their own territory, though. Ball on the 44. Hand off, Thomas Plummer. He's got some big guys in front of him. He has the first down, juking back to his left across the 40. Taken down at about the 38-yard line. Had himself one Nico Fowl in front of him right there. And, of course, if you don't know Fowl, you know he's a strong, fast, athletic player. He's one you definitely want to run behind. Thomas Plummer, he got the memo.
Absolutely right there. One of the first things that I heard about the Waynesville Tigers when I was originally given this assignment was the big boy Nico Fowl, an expert blocker on the offensive line. A lot of these bigger guys who are usually on the inside, they're not great at going downfield and continuing to block. Fowl, one of the best in the Ozarks Conference, had it right there.
Yeah, for sure. So first down and 10, now on the Hillcrest 38-yard line. Thomas Plummer, wing back to the left. Direct snap here to Vernon. Vernon going to carry it himself. He's to about the 30. Flag on the play. It is a gain of about 8 here before the flag, but it is going to be holding, I believe, called against Waynesville. That's going to back them up.
And they've officially now scored 40 points before the first penalty of the game. I'd call that pretty good.
Second penalty.
They still scored 40 points before the first one, though.
Well, yeah, yes, they did.
I kind of
You're not wrong.
and then justified it.
All right, I thought I had something there. Nope, you are clearly smarter than I. But that is going to be holding called against Waynesville, so that is going to back them up here. It'll still be first down. Now the ball going to be placed at the Waynesville 48-yard line. Now first down and 20. 28 seconds left to go here in quarter number 1. Vernon running in the play call from the sideline. Ten seconds left on the play clock as the Tigers approach the line. Thomas Plummer, wing back to the right side. Direct snap, Kelsey Jr. Juking off to his right, now has some room, maybe trying to find the sideline. He's got it. He's going to have himself the 30, the 25, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds, but not before he reaches about the 20. We'll see where they say he stepped out of bounds. Either way, though, it's enough for a first down. It's going to be a gain of about 26 yards here on first down and 20. Way to come back after the penalty.
That's something they've struggled with throughout the season as well, coming back after those big penalties. Good to see them do that even as the quarter just about over. We got 1 second. Did he get out of bounds?
1 second, he was out of bounds, so we have one more play to go. But, of course, we've seen in previous weeks, those penalties, those were drive killers. Not this time, though, as Kelsey Jr. takes that direct snap to the left-hand side, the right-hand side, I guess I should say. So first down and 10. Again, this is the final play of the first quarter. Direct snap again, Michael Kelsey Jr., but he's going to be stood up. Flag is on the play. Flag is thrown. And we'll see where the flag goes before we send it on off to quarter number 2. Hillcrest Hornet a little bit slow to get up on the play, but he is stood up by his teammates. But again, we'll see where the flag comes in. And now, of course, we'll actually have ourselves an injury as well. It's going to be the end of the first quarter, though. Call is going to be holding against Waynesville, so we're going to go ahead and take ourselves a break. We'll come back here in just a few moments, but what a first quarter for the Waynesville Tigers. They lead Hillcrest 40-0. 5 first quarter touchdowns here for Waynesville. Back in 1 minute, you're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. And back here once again as the injured Hornet on the play. That was Avery Myers. He was able to move off towards the sideline here, so hopefully he is all right. As we get going here for quarter number 2, put another 12 minutes on the clock, 40-0 in favor of the Waynesville Tigers. 5 first quarter touchdowns. It all got started. 16-yard touchdown run, David Vernon, and a 12-yard touchdown pass. The game's only passing touchdown. It was Vernon to Josh Bess. That made it 16-0. 3-yard touchdown run, Chase Thomas Plummer, his sole touchdown on the day. That made it 24-0. Then you had a 36-yard touchdown run, the game's longest play thus far, Michael Kelsey Jr., his first score of the day to make it 32-0. And then the game's only defensive touchdown, that was a 16-yard fumble recovery. Johnny Hedrick taking it in again to put us where we are now at 40-0. Connor Harbin here with you, Garrett Bowles, Z102.3. Glad you could join us here for some homecoming night football. Last night, senior night for the softball girls. They were able to pick up a victory over Parkview there. So a couple big nights and a lot of positive results thus far. But, of course, we still got 3 quarters to play here Waynesville controlling the football. It will be first down, and first down about 35 to go. So, we'll see. 4 plays to make 35 yards. As we get back going here, might have been a couple penalties on the play now that I think about it.
Might be a
That's a lot of penalty yards.
potential passing opportunity right now, though.
Yeah, exactly.
For the Tigers.
Pistol formation, 4 wide receiver set. Vernon going to the air, throw out to the right side, trying to find Dylan Smith. But it's going to be a bit misfired, and that'll make second down and 35. So there had to be a couple penalties on that play heading into the corner. We caught the holding, but there had to have been another one as well. Again, 25 penalty yards at the 10 and a 15.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm trying to do some math in my head to see what penalties 15 yards. Maybe a
Could have been a
face mask
personal
on there
foul.
as well. Personal foul.
Not quite sure, but what we do know is where we're at now. Second down and a long, long way to go. Need to get it to the 12-yard line for a first down. Ball currently on the Hillcrest 47. Back to the wingback formation. Kelsey Jr. on the carry. Stopped at about the 45 here. Just not a whole lot of running room that time. Able to stay on his feet before momentum's called. Third down and 33 now. We'll see if Waynesville opts to maybe go back to the air or if they just run it here. Again, it's a bit of a weird situation. You don't really see these 30-plus yard down situations a whole lot, but you still have options. Obviously, you still have maybe a couple plays. Wouldn't be shocked here if maybe Waynesville goes for it on fourth down with how the defense has looked here tonight.
You're absolutely right. I mean, we've seen Kelsey and CTP break off 60-plus yard runs before.
We have Chase Thomas Plummer. Speaking of, he's not going to get the carry. It's going to be Vernon who has a man open. That's going to be caught. DJ Horry, but he loses the football. A huge hit. Horry still down. That ball's fumbled and recovered here by Hillcrest. But Horry just took a huge shot, and they're going to need the trainer. Horry kind of in no man's land there. Caught the ball, was in the process of turning upfield. He's going to immediately be up, though. Looks like he's okay. But, man, did he get clobbered there by a seeker. We'll use that. I was trying to combine some words there, but, man, Zaquan Henderson, big hit. Gets the fumble as well.
Certainly was a heat seeker, a Hillcrest
there,
heat
that's what I was
seeker
looking
might have
for.
been
Thank
what
you
were
so
looking
much.
for.
Hot seeker? I think that's what I was trying to say. I don't know.
Regardless, the receiver there, or tight end, I should say, DJ Horry, he's okay, and that's, at the end of the day, that's what you really need to know. That's what we care about over here.
Yeah, they're going to have the trainer look at him here real quick, but he is standing up. He was able to walk off. Going to take a look at him anyway, though, as Hillcrest comes back on the field. 5 wide set. Horry, of course, a big part of the passing game as well. Griesmer going to the air, throw across the middle, bobbled, almost picked off here by Waynesville. Had an opportunity out in the secondary. Looks like that was Chris Scott who had a chance to come up on that one. Actually, a little bit disappointed himself, Scott is on the field. Slapping the helmet a little bit, but incomplete pass, though. It's still second down and 10. Good coverage again by the Waynesville secondary.
And to speak well of Griesmer, who's had a tough game so far, the arm strength is certainly there. I've been very impressed with how he's whipping it so far tonight. The accuracy, just a little bit of an issue. And when you combine those two things and try to throw over the middle, some of those tipped passes are going to be seen.
Yeah, it's one thing to throw the ball hard, but if you're not really putting it where the receivers can get it, that actually can make it a little bit harder to bring the ball in, because now you've got 2 things to worry about. High school quarterback, by the way. Anyway, back to it. 2 wide receivers left and 1 to the right, back in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to setback. It's going to be Sample on the carry, but he's going to be swarmed here by the Waynesville defense and taken down maybe behind the line of scrimmage here. It might be a short loss. It's going to set up third down. I knew I'd sneak it in this week, and I did.
Funny thing is, I knew you'd sneak it in as well.
I was a high school quarterback, by the way. And you were a debate kid.
For a year and a half, I was. I'll tell you what, some of the best years of my life over there, freshman and sophomore years.
Well, I was a debate kid, too, so.
Had to wear a suit. Did not enjoy that one bit.
Me neither. Now you've switched to flannel. So third down and about 11. Was a loss of 1 on the previous play. Thomas Rhett. Griesmer going to the air, looking to the left. Has Henderson. Pass is caught here at about the 45. He's got some room. He's got the first down. All the way to the opposite 45. Henderson goes. Again, very electric player Henderson is. One of the players to watch out for Hillcrest, as we identified in the pregame. He's been the one really kind of making Waynesville hurt. Forced the fumble on the previous drive for Waynesville. now has himself the pitch and catch. Waynesville just playing a little bit off of the receivers there. Gave him a lot of room to work with.
Yeah, they certainly did, and that was still a great tackle by Chase Thomas Plummer, kind of throwing him around there. As soon as the ball carrier doesn't go down immediately, you want to start spinning with them, getting them off balance, getting them off their feet.
So new set of downs, first down and 10. Waynesville territory, slant across the middle, ball's dropped. A little bit low for the intended receiver. That was Toby Filiaw coming across the middle. Second down and 10 here, but now a whistle. And it looks like we may have a timeout, our game's first timeout taken here by Hillcrest. So a timeout on the field, 9:58 to go here in quarter number 2. Waynesville holding on to that 40-0 lead. We'll come back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football here on Z102.3. Back to it here, 9:58 left to go in the first half. Waynesville leading 40-0. Hillcrest in possession of the football, though, forcing a Waynesville fumble. Second down and 10. Ball in the Waynesville 44, going to the air again. Slant across the middle, ball's going to be caught. Around the first down marker, he'll be brought down. That was Jude Cochran on the catch. And Hillcrest really starting to move that football, really going to the short route now. We saw Hillcrest come out. And, of course, we kind of knew it was a possibility that they'd really try to go deep early on with how Waynesville looked the previous couple of weeks against the deep ball. But now they started to bring it in a little bit here. And you see they're starting to make a little bit more gains, a little bit more on the ground, or a little bit more at a time than what they were able to previously get their last few drives.
You're absolutely right. Just trying to move the ball down the field here, not trying to do too much. It's what you love to see when you're playing with a big deficit to overcome.
So another set of downs, first down and 10. Ball now on the Waynesville 33. Griesmer rolling out of the pocket, heading to his right. Fakes the pass, instead just going to step out of bounds at the original line of scrimmage. And that'll be second down and 10. So forcing Griesmer out of the pocket, remember, already 5 sacks in this one for Waynesville. Haven't really been able to add the pressure that they were able to in that first quarter thus far. But that time, able to force him to flush and then sealing off his escape route, forcing him to step out of bounds at the original line of scrimmage. Actually, lost about a half yard.
And to combine the two things you said, the short pass game is really the reason Waynesville hasn't been able to get a lot of pressure. It's a great move by coach of the Hillcrest Hornets, Lee Coleman, to kind of just rein the receivers back in, get the ball out of the quarterback's hand quickly. Second
down and about 10.5 to go. Griesmer stepping in the pocket. He's going to run it this time. Going to slide here just shy of the 25-yard line, about the 27. And here comes another third down in 4-down territory. Third down and about 4. Gain of 6.
The bones for a good offensive drive and a good offensive game are there for the Hillcrest Hornets. I mean, we saw a couple of passes ago. That was pinpoint accuracy on that little curl route a few moments ago by Griesmer. Now starting to run the football. There's the bones are there. The foundation is there for a good team. Just a lot to overcome here.
Here we go. Third down and 4. Griesmer to the air. Moving out to his right. Out of the pocket now. Now going to try to find a man across the middle. He has a man. It's complete. Amari Clark with the catch, and they're inside the red zone. Hillcrest is. Ball now to about the 10-yard line. So Griesmer showing the eye there, looking at his options. Maybe not the first intended target, but also big ups Amari Clark, able to find some room, find where the secondary wasn't. Nice little pitch and catch, and we've got ourselves our first Hillcrest first down and goal.
So as a high school football quarterback, as you were, how's the How does it look there to kind of throw across your body like that?
It's
I know that's
not
kind of a
easy.
cardinal sin.
It's not easy, and of course, yes, you're right. It is something that you're not really encouraged to do, but made it look fairly simple there. Ball right on the money. Here's a handoff. Sample on the carry. First down and goal. He's going to get himself about 4. Second down and 6. Were you trying to quiz me or something there? Did you think I wouldn't have an answer?
I just wanted to acknowledge
I had
that you
3
were a
touchdown
quarterback.
passes. Yeah, I had 3 touchdown passes and about 4 interceptions. So they called me the Sage Rosenfels of Nevada High School. That's a deep cut.
That's a deep cut that I'm not even going to try to get into at this point.
Second down and goal.
That I can manage.
I don't even know why I was thinking of Rosenfels, to be honest with you. 7:32 to go here in the first half. Griesmer to the air. In trouble. Now going to try to run it. Jump ball to the end zone. Ball tipped by Waynesville. Had a chance at the pick in the end zone, but it falls incomplete. It'll be third down and goal.
The guy who got his hands on that one looked like Johnny Hedrick. He's had a great game so far, of course, and that continues right here tonight. Hillcrest Hornets did have a fairly open receiver in the back of the end zone. Had Hedrick not have been there, Hornets might have been looking at their first points of the game.
Yeah, the receiver tripped and fell in the back of the end zone, so maybe a couple lucky breaks there for Waynesville. But again, good coverage by Hedrick. Already has 1 defensive touchdown here today. He's trying to add another turnover to his total. So here we go, third down and goal from the 6. 3 wide receivers left, 2 to the right. One to watch is Henderson, but it's going to be a short screen trying to find Sample, but that ball's knocked down. Coming up quickly, Isaiah Hopper set to knock that one down, and here we go. Waynesville, they've got Hillcrest in a 4th and goal situation, 4th and goal from the 6.
And I think Sample, for at least a moment, was looking for pass interference. Hopper might have made contact just a little bit too early, but I think we're good on that one.
It was a short screen route. Hopper, I think, playing the ball there. So I think, honestly, a good call there from the ref. I know Waynesville's had their problems with pass interference. That time, I don't think that was the call.
Agreed.
Griesmer going to take the snap here. Again, 4th down and 6. Going to try to do it with his legs. Now going to tuck it. Now going to try to run, and he's going to get it. He reaches out. Touchdown, Hillcrest. Again, Griesmer, he is quite the athlete. Flushed out of the pocket, finds a hole, and able to get into the end zone here to make it a 34-point game.
And an impressive run right there. That one, once again, not a designed run by any means necessary. Griesmer going left, going right, faking a couple people out, and then just sprinting for the end zone, reaching the ball over for Hillcrest's first score of the game.
2-point conversion. Here's the fake pitch. Now Griesmer looking to go to the air. In some trouble. Just going to toss that one out of the back of the end zone. Looked more like a panic throw, maybe a pray somebody's back there kind of throw. But yeah, Waynesville able to bust that play open early, and they'll prevent 2 points from going up on the board. So 7:12 left to go here in the first half. Waynesville gives up their first score, but leads by 34. 40-6 your score. We'll take a 60-second timeout. Be back in a second. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football, Z102.3. Back here once again at Tigers Stadium, 40-6. Hillcrest on the board, a 6-yard touchdown run. Quarterback Cole Griesmer able to take it in for the score. But we are getting back to it here. 2 men back to receive for the Tigers. Looks like back there you've got, looks like Bishop Godwin set to receive. And it looks like Chase Thomas Plummer back as well. Connor Harvey here with you, Garrett Bowles as well, as we're still waiting here. Now an official whistle. Remember, all 40. Oh, going to be a delay of game. Don't see that call every day. going to be charged here against Hillcrest, so we'll back them up 5 yards. They'll kick from the 35 instead.
You especially don't see that on a kickoff. If I'm remembering correctly, and this is a deep, deep cut here, I believe the Cleveland Browns of the NFL, of course, started their season on a delay of game on a kickoff one day. It was the very first game of the year, and I believe the play clock got down to 1 second. Cleveland had to waste a timeout before the game even really officially got going. And if I'm remembering correctly, that was the season where they went 0-16.
Well, I was going to say, just pick a season. I'm sure Cleveland probably finished with about 3 or 4 wins. No offense to all the Cleveland fans out here, but here we go.
Yikes.
Kickoff is away. Short kick, going to be an onside. Nicely played, though, by Waynesville, so they're going to take over about the 50-yard line here or so. On the catch, looks like that was Waynesville's Riley McCain Kirby. Nice hands there, the lineman, to bring that one in. Only man in the area. It was either catch it or probably have a whole host of Hornets charging right on at you. He chose to catch the football. I think we'd all do so.
He certainly did, and that's scary when you have a swarm of Hornets running at you.
We've dealt with some Hornets in the booth tonight. I didn't even realize that. That's actually pretty funny. First down and 10, 7-11 to go in the half. They were Wasps. I don't know. They're not the same thing, right?
No, but close. They're both scary.
They're close. Here's a direct snap, first down. Kelsey Jr. on the carry. Has a nice forward push. Going to get around the first down marker. To about the 40-yard line he goes. So make it a gain of 10 and make it a new set of downs. First down and 10.
And the thing I noted on that play, I mean, the offensive line pushed the Hornet defensive line for about 7 yards. I mean, that was incredible. It looked like the entire line of scrimmage was moving towards the goalposts over there. Great effort there, great athleticism and technique by the offensive line of the Tigers so far tonight.
Yeah, we talked about it. This is an experienced line going up against a defensive line that is very young. Here's an option play. Handoff is actually going to go to Chase Thomas Plummer in the end. Past the line of scrimmage as he gets to about the 44-yard line here or so. Gain of 4. Very tricky play there. A couple fake handoffs. Ran to perfection, though. Honestly, you fool me with the binoculars, you're doing a great job, and Vernon definitely weighed his options there. Maybe didn't get the first down, but 4 yards is always good. Kind of lost in the shuffle there with all the big plays we've had tonight, but 4 yards is really your baseline.
Yeah, but you really love to set up other plays later in the game with a little option play like that. Right now, the Hillcrest Hornets have no idea where the football is going on any given play, and it's due to those little 4-yard trick play runs.
So here we go, second down and 6. Here's the jet sweep. Chase Thomas Plummer in the secondary, spinning to his left. He's going to be past the 30. It's going to be another Tiger first down. Gain of about, looks like that was a gain of about 10. So it'll be first down and 10. Ball, how about on the 28-yard line? So make it 9, actually. You switch to pencil. I have the power. Gain of 9.
Did after the second week, I switched to a pencil on the scorebook over here. It has worked wonders so far.
Shout out to Garrett Bowles, by the way, for keeping stats this year. He knows his role, and he does it very, very well. Of course, we'll talk about those stats at the half. First down and 10. Here we go. Direct snap. Kelsey Jr. moving to his right. Has some lead blockers in front of him. To the sideline now. He's to the 20. Going to step out of bounds here. Pushed out of bounds. But not before he gets to, again, around the first down marker. We'll see where they place it. We'll see where he stepped out of bounds. But it is going to be close, if not an outright first down. And that it's going to be, actually, a yard pass. So, gain of 11 on the play. Ball on the 17-yard line. Tigers back in the red zone.
They found themselves there fairly frequently throughout this ball game, so I'm sure the mental block that we talked about at the beginning of the game might be coming to a close here.
First down and 10, but now a whistle and a flag. Flag off towards the right-hand sideline. Offsides called against Hillcrest. Very quick offsides there. But it's going to be 5 yards, and that means it's going to be first down and 5 here for Waynesville. Mark it on the 12-yard line.
They had that full line shift once again, and that can trick you the first couple of times they do it, as it did right there.
Here we go. Vernon with the snap. He's going to try to take it in himself. Jukes back to the right, now back to the middle. Tripped up and falls, but not before he gets to the 5-yard line now. Another solid gain here for Vernon. And make it first down and goal. Ball going to be on the, they gave him the 3-yard line. Able to stretch out for an extra yard there. So how about 8 yards? Like the hustle, like the stretch, like the reach.
And at this point, Coach Barkley's got to feel like he can do no wrong. I mean, everything he is calling right now, with the exception of a couple plays here and there, of course, but almost everything he's calling right now is working either exactly the way he wants it to or even better, as the Tigers find themselves once again at the goal line.
First down and goal. Here's the handoff. Thomas Plummer in a little bit of trouble, but still on his feet. I think he's going to be losing a couple of yards there. So, the old commentator's curse, Garrett, as they're going to back up to the 4-yard line now. Second down and goal. Not as bad as my... Oh, no, you know what? You go ahead.
If that's the worst curse that I can put on the Tigers all season, I'm happy with that one right there.
I cursed the softball team pretty hard last night. I'm still feeling bad about it. No hits into the third. Say no hits in the third. Here comes 3 hits, 2 triples.
Ooh, never
2 triples and
that.
3 runs. I felt really bad. Of course, we still won by 10. Here we go. Next play. Handoff. Michael Kelsey Jr. up the middle he goes. Touchdown. Here the Tiger roar, Waynesville. Michael Kelsey Jr., his second touchdown run of the day. And Waynesville, again, leads by 40, pending the 2-point conversion here at 46-6.
Huge game by Michael Kelsey Jr. Usually they rotate those ball carriers as often as they can. I think Barkley sees that it is just Kelsey's night tonight. He's letting him cook.
It's a run of about 4 yards for Kelsey Jr. Add that to the 36-yard touchdown run earlier. And we'll see if Waynesville can keep their streaks of 2-point conversions alive. Have been 5 for 5 tonight in 2-point conversions. Handoff up the middle, and Kelsey Jr. again just trots right on in, virtually untouched. And so make that 6-4-6. 3:25 here to go in the first half. Waynesville leads by 42 points here at 48-6. Back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here to Tiger Stadium once again. A 3-yard touchdown run, 4-yard touchdown run. Michael Kelsey Jr., his second touchdown run of the day, has given Waynesville a 42-point lead, 48-6, with again 3:20 left to go here in the first half. Connor Harbin here with you, Garrett Bowles as well, Z102.3. Here we go again, Cole Griesmer, 5 wide set for the Hornets with 4 wide receivers left. That includes Saquon Henderson, who's been the star of the show tonight. Of course, Griesmer and Henderson have done most of the damage here when Hillcrest has been able to move the football. Griesmer going to take the snap, looking to his left here on first down, flushed out of the pocket. Going to find Henderson now. He's got it around the 40, juking to his right, heading off towards the sideline, still on his feet as he's into Waynesville territory, and finally pushed out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. So I kind of willed that one into existence there a little bit, Garrett. Griesmer, Henderson, connection's been there a couple times tonight, that time all the way in the Waynesville territory.
Yeah, they've been impressive all night long, especially whenever it seems like out of nowhere, like you just get here, the bus just stops, all of a sudden you're down by 20 points, 21, 22 points. The Griesmer and the rest of this Hillcrest offense has really battled back from that so far.
Yeah, of course, the bright lights, homecoming, it can affect away teams just as much as the home team as well. So, kind of a rough start, but we've seen it kind of normalize here. We've seen Hillcrest really kind of calm it down. Of course, Waynesville still able to do what they need to do. Here's a pass out into the flat. Sample with the catch. Nice hit. Nice hit. Tyreek Brooks got low and took the big man down. Nice one-on-one tackle. And that's going to be a loss on the play. Loss of 3. So a big play there for Tyreek Brooks.
And you really are starting to see the Waynesville defense come into their own in this game. They've been beaten up, like we said. They're kind of on the mend now. They're getting their full unit back. This is top-tier Tiger football on the season so far.
Yeah,
and if Barkley can build something from this, it's going to be even more impressive.
Undoubtedly the best half of football we have seen Waynesville play this season. Have tied their highest point total of the season, or at least actually have passed that. Here we go, Griesmer stepping up in the pocket, still looking to pass, now going to tuck and run, slides. Gets a couple yards past the original line of scrimmage, so make it a gain of about 4, 3rd down and 8 upcoming. Yeah, past the highest point total of the season, hung 46 against Parkview in that 46-22 win, 48 points in the first half here against Hillcrest.
Definitely coming together for the whole team right now. And this team has battled adversity, not just this whole season, but the past couple of seasons have been so rough for the Tigers. To have a game like this on homecoming night, everybody's out. That we had the community pride going on just a little bit before then in the parking lot, which made parking tougher, but made the vibes better, so I'll allow it. It's been a really good one so far for the Tigers.
Whistle here, we got a timeout, I believe taken by Hillcrest. So Hillcrest going to take their second timeout of the first half. We'll go and keep it locked in right here, though. As you're right, I mean, it's a big day. You had homecoming. You had community pride night. If you made it on out there, you know, that's a lot of fun. Lots of booths out there this year. I had an opportunity to kind of walk down there myself. Got here well before the game. Obviously knew that there was going to be some kind of traffic here today. But that really goes to show you how much support there was, that there was so many cars lined up down I-44. And, of course, well, yours was more road work than anything coming back the other direction down I-44. But, obviously, Waynesville's a school. Waynesville's a town that loves its football team. St. Robert, too, of course. It's a community that loves its football team. We got to combine it all. Fort Leonard Wood as well.
It certainly does, and it's impressive to see. Absolutely love it. Of course, you and I both not growing up in the area, kind of familiarizing ourselves with the town over the past season. So I think it's great to kind of see this going out. I grew up closer than you.
Well, yeah, 30 minutes away. This is the area for you.
That's a fair point.
I'm not giving you that one. So here we go, back to it after the timeout. 3rd down and 9. Griesmer can't hand it off here. Henderson looking to pass, but now going to tuck it himself. Trips and falls. The man in the turf got him. And that's going to lead to a 4th down here. Henderson maybe looking for a wide receiver pass, was certainly gripping it like he was looking for something. Decided that he was better off just trying to make it a proto wide receiver reverse, but unfortunately tripped and fall around the 41-yard line. So it's going to be 4th down here for Hillcrest. Waynesville was moving to the football. Arguable to say if he would have gotten anything extra, but it does bring up the 4th down for sure.
Yeah, he might have gotten a couple of extra yards there. The defense was closing in pretty quick. I don't know if that was 1st down territory right there, but he was definitely had a few yards in it.
Definitely lost a few yards. I think you're right. So 4th down and about 6. Ball on the 41. Griesmer again in trouble. Going to throw it. Threw it a bit long. As everybody on the Waynesville defensive line got through there. They force another turnover on downs. A nice stop to the drive here.
And
3
once
men.
again,
3 men going in on Griesmer there. Through the line immediately.
The pressure has just been absolutely fantastic. And that was one of the main points that the coach of the Hillcrest Hornets kind of brought up to me. Was this defense, this offensive line, I should say, so young. They're still kind of learning. They're still kind of getting those building blocks on top of one another. The Hillcrest not looking up to par right now with Waynesville as they are just charging through the offensive line. Now we get to see what the Waynesville offense can do, up quite a few points here in the second half. First half, second quarter.
Waynesville taking back over. Kelsey Jr. on the direct snap. 1st down. To the left side he goes. He might be breaking free. He's to the 40, the 35. He's going to be roped down, but he's going to have himself quite a bit of yardage here. 30 seconds left to go in the half. Going to have to try to hurry it up if they want the score. But it's a good start here. So that places the ball at about the Waynesville, or the Hillcrest, I should say. The Hillcrest 34-yard line. Gain of about 25 on 1st down.
And I'll tell you who does want that score is Michael Kelsey Jr. I mean, he was not running to chew the clock. He was not running to run out the half. He wanted a touchdown right there, and it showed.
Timeout taken here, I believe, or maybe an injury. Yes, and it's going to be an injury. Is that? Oh, man, that might actually be Kelsey Jr. down there. That would be a rather big loss for Waynesville if that is the case. Again, Kelsey Jr., we talked about him so much this season as really a player who's stepped up and in. You know, of course, stepping in for Evan Bradford, who's been out this season. Really kind of showed his stuff. Was really a bright spot in the game against Glendale. 2 touchdown runs here tonight. You always hate to see a player like that, especially when they're having their breakout season, kind of go down.
You're absolutely right. And the good news so far is he's sitting up. That's always a good sign for sure. Not going to speculate any further than that as we're awaiting further developments, I guess you can say right here. Is he
going to be helped up? But it looks like he's going to need to be helped off the sideline. So we're going to go ahead and take ourselves, no, we'll go ahead and keep it right here. They are going to go ahead and help him off the sideline. Is not heavily favoring the leg, but he is going to need a little bit of help here. So Kelsey Jr., like we said, such an important player, but we're going to hope he's okay. He's been such a vital part of the offense. You can't stress that enough.
You're absolutely right, and whenever you're up as big as you are right now, I think you're going to play it safe. Let him rest for a little bit. Make sure, without a doubt, that there is nothing else internal going on right there. You have time to do that. You have this game not in the bag by any means whatsoever, but you have a full half to kind of just let him relax for a little while. Make sure everything's where it should be.
Yeah, now he's walking by himself down there. And also, by the way, another injury update, DJ Horry. He didn't really come back around to it. He is back in the game. So, remember, took that huge hit earlier in the quarter. He's up and going again. So, good news there for DJ Horry.
Love to see it. He took a big hit on that passing play a couple of minutes ago.
8 seconds left on the clock. Here's a direct snap. Thomas Plummer charging through the hole. He's got himself some yardage. He's going to get it to about the, well, no, he's going to stay on his feet and find his way to the end zone. Here's the Tiger Roar touchdown. What a effort. Chase Thomas Plummer, he was all but down, but somehow he found a way to stay upright and find his way in for the score.
That was an angry run by Chase Thomas Plummer, and we've talked about him throughout the entire season. Didn't have the game he's necessarily wanted so far this game, but he just broke one right there. 34 yards, absolutely huge. He had 15 yards in the bag, but decided to stay up and just keep running. Would not be denied on the way to the touchdown score.
And that touchdown means another $25 donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Ed Morse Ford of Waynesville St. Robert. And now we'll have a whistle here for the 2-point conversion.
This will be the final play of the half.
Yes, it will. The clock hitting 0 on the touchdown run. We did have an official whistle.
Is there something on the field he's clearing off? He's walking towards something. No.
No, he's walking towards the Waynesville sideline now. Going to go ahead and speak with the Waynesville coaches now. Still lined up on the goal line. And you've still got the chain gang around the original line of scrimmage. I would hate this touchdown to be taken away. I have a bad feeling, at least based on the position of the chain gang.
We got to see what
they
the
be
refs
saying that he was taken down at the original spot. Yeah. There was no whistle. That's important to note.
Waving the arms there.
Waving the arms, and well, now the team's going to come back to the sideline.
The score's still up.
And to the locker room. So, I think that'll be it for the half. So I think the touchdown's going to stand, or maybe, hold on. We'll see. The coach is still talking. We're going to go keep it right here until we know what the score is heading into the half. But they still have 54
agree.
on the board. I think you'd still go for the 2, but I'm not quite sure here.
Not too sure either. I'd love to get an explanation.
Yeah, right now it's just a whole bunch of conversations on the field. Either way, it's going to be a large lead for Waynesville. That's the important thing here. But does the score count? Does it? Well, the marching band coming on the field, our officials are going to have to clear out in some way, at some point, at some time. We got a show to get on. They're going to signal touchdown. He's got his arms up in the air. I'm going to assume yes.
I'm thinking that's a touchdown, but touchdown.
You know what?
Let the clock run.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna go ahead and say that was a touchdown here. So we're gonna leave it up here. If anything changes, we'll let you know. But we're gonna go ahead and take our first break of the half. When we come back, we'll have your scoring summary. Of course, Garrett, he'll have some stats to go over, and we'll check on some scores from around the area as well. But as it stands right now, how about a 48-point lead here for the Waynesville Tigers? 54-6. Waynesville leads over Hillcrest. Back in 4 minutes. 4-minute timeout. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger football right here on Z102.3. And welcome back here to Tiger Stadium, where we are at halftime. And actually, Garrett, they've taken the 6 points off the board. So 48-6 now our score. I'm going to go ahead and assume that he was down where we thought he was down after about the 15-yard gain or so. Still wondering why they signaled the 6, why the referee had his arms up in the air, but, well, what we do know is that Waynesville still leads by 42 points. So 48-6 our score. And so, Garrett, I hope now you got to do some more math. You said you were done with Waynesville stats, and we'll get to those here in a moment. But I'll send you back to work here as we do go over the scoring summary that got us to our 48-6 score here. I'll stop bullying you, I promise. It's been a rough half for the two of us. But anyway, we got started here 4 minutes into the first quarter. It was Waynesville finding their way on the board. The quarterback, David Vernon, doing it with his legs as he was able to scamper in from 16 yards out to make it 8-0. And then just 2 minutes later, Waynesville would make it a 2-score game after the turnover. A 12-yard touchdown pass, the lone touchdown pass of the game. It was Vernon to Josh Bess. That made it 16-0. Another minute later, another turnover, and a 3-yard touchdown run for Chase Thomas Plummer, his touchdown on the day. That made it 24-0. And then a 36-yard touchdown run for Michael Kelsey Jr. With 3:03 left to go. That made it 32-0. So if you're keeping score, that's 4 touchdowns in 5 minutes today for Waynesville. And actually, here's an more impressive stat. How about 5 touchdowns in 5 minutes? Because just 15 seconds later, Johnny Hedrick, the game's lone defensive touchdown, a 16-yard fumble recovery that made it 40-0. That's what we'd be at the end of the first quarter. We got started with the second quarter, and it would be Hillcrest finding their way on the board. A 6-yard touchdown run. The quarterback, Cole Griesmer, with 7:12 to go in the quarter, made it 40-6. But the final touchdown came from Waynesville. A 4-yard touchdown run. Michael Kelsey Jr., his second touchdown run of the day, again, made it 48-6. So that's where we stand here. And, of course, we've got the band out on the field, their homecoming performance as well. Always a pleasure to see them in action. But we're going to go ahead and take ourselves another 4-minute timeout. When we come back, Garrett will be ready with your stats from that first half. Again, Waynesville kind of playing the short field here. The numbers, they might not be too high, but just know they have been on it here tonight. Offensively, defensively, 42-point lead, 48-6. Back in another 4 minutes, you're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here at Tiger Stadium, we have got ourselves about 11 minutes left to go here in this halftime period with Waynesville out in front. 42 points the lead over the Hillcrest Hornets here at the moment, 48-6. Connor Harvard here with you. Garrett Bowles. Garrett going to take over from here. He's got some stats from the first half for you. Like I said, this game mostly played in the short field, so the numbers are not eye-popping per se, but they're still very impressive for this Waynesville side. They've been able to pick up the yardage that they needed to here tonight.
They certainly have, and the main thing that they have done that through is turnovers and getting to the quarterback, Cole Griesmer. We got 5 sacks so far, all of them coming in the first quarter, making that pressure felt immediately. Also 2 interceptions so far on the day for the Waynesville Tiger defense. It's been fantastic so far, and that has set up the Tiger offense. Michael Kelsey Jr., who we sure do hope is okay. We saw him go down just a few moments ago. Looked to be close to okay there on the sideline. He's got 2 touchdowns so far on the game. Chase Thomas Plummer with a touchdown as well. David Vernon, 1 rushing, 1 passing touchdown. And you have the scoring summary over there.
I do.
Who did he throw that one to?
Josh Bess.
Josh Bess, of course. My bad on that one. Also a defensive touchdown as well. Very impressive on the defensive side as well all night long. And that defensive fumble was brought to the end zone by
Johnny Hedrick.
Johnny Hedrick, of course. So it's been a good day so far in the turnover and the touchdown department for the Tigers. Kelsey, 131 yards on the ground so far. Chase Thomas Plummer with 71. David Vernon slowly becoming the dual threat quarterback we kind of saw at the beginning of the season. 31 yards through the air so far, 22 yards on the ground. He's been fantastic so far. Actually reversed that, 22 in the air, 31 on the ground so far for Vernon. He's had a great game as well, I should say, kind of breaking out here from the rut that him and Bishop Godwin have been in for the past 2 or 3 weeks with the quarterback run. The score right now, 48-6, and so that is definitely explained by the small amounts of yardage gained by the Hillcrest Hornets so far. Cole Griesmer, who, in my opinion, is passing the eye test so far. He's thrown a couple of good balls, a couple overthrows. Very athletic kid. So far, he has 26 rushing yards, 45 passing yards, and Dante Sample having a couple of good rushes there as well, as I'm trying to do math in my head. He's got about 10-15 yards on the ground so far tonight. Not necessarily great, but able to kind of move the football whenever they have absolutely needed him to. So for team totals, it's pretty much been all Cole Griesmer for the Hillcrest Hornets. They've got about 70 yards of total offense right now compared to the Waynesville Tigers having 255. It's definitely been a lopsided game so far, but we'll take it on homecoming night. Those are the stats so far. We'll have the full game stats, of course, at the end of the ball game. Hopefully both sides growing. You love to see offense operate throughout the game, so that'll I'll be back in a moment with more analysis, hopefully, after the
you'll be back.
break.
You'll literally be back after the next break. I mean, it's a 2-person crew after all. You're not just the stats guy. You're my color commentator and all that. But anyway,
Aw, shucks.
We are going to go ahead and take. I mean, it's your job. We're going to take ourselves 2 minutes. Actually, no. Let's make it 4 minutes. A 4-minute timeout. When we come back, we will go ahead and go over some other scores from around the area. Like I said, as always, a couple big games in the Ozark Conference. All the 3 of the ranked teams in action tonight as well. So we'll go ahead and take a look at how they are doing here tonight. But again, back in 4 minutes. Don't go anywhere. 48-6 our score. Waynesville leads by 42. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger football right here on Z102.3. Welcome back here once again to Tiger Stadium here in Waynesville. Again, we are just about 3.5 minutes away from kickoff here in the second half, where the turbo clock will be in effect. Waynesville up by 42. Of course, the turbo clock initiates 35 points at the half, so that clock going to be moving. This was a relatively long first half, about an hour and a half. Of course, had lots of scoring, had a few plays, had a lot of turnovers. That stops the clock, so quite a long half here, but it's a half that has benefited Waynesville greatly as they do hold the 42-point lead here at the moment. So let's go ahead and get some live scoring updates for you from around the rest of the conference and maybe some other area games of importance as well, as we do have scores rolling in here. How about the Ozark Conference scores first? Lebanon. There was some dissension about that Lebanon game, but the Yellow Jackets do lead Glendale 14-0 in the third quarter, though. So not quite the Glendale games we've been used to seeing here, as that's actually a rather low-scoring game out there. So we'll keep watching that one for sure. At half, Camdenton. They've got the turbo clock going against the Liberators of Bolivar, 35-0 there in that one. And here's a score for you. Kickapoo does lead West Plains. I know that is a Class 6 versus Class 4 matchup, but right now it is the Chiefs leading the Zizzers 21 there to 6. Other area scores, district opponent will go ahead and leave the conference for a brief moment as we report on Branson. They are playing the Osho here today, and the Wildcats lead the Pirates 28-17. Rolla leading Parkview. They are in the third quarter, 35-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. So we'll see the Liberators next week. We'll see the Bulldogs the week after that. And then, of course, I think that's really it for the conference. So let's go ahead and go right back up to the top here with some area scores. Number 1, Carthage. Number 1 in Class 5. They lead Ozark tonight, 35-7. Seneca leading Reed Springs. That's a ranked versus ranked matchup, 27-21. Nixa, big win, big lead over Carl Junction, 35-0. Lamar, they lead McDonald County, 40-7. That is a ranked versus ranked matchup, but again, looks like Lamar might be making another run and gun for another state title. Marionville leading Pierce City 42-14. Webb City leading Willard 35-6. Joplin leads Republic 13-7 at the half. Republic looking for the upset. Nevada, they lead Cassville 43-0. Cole Camp leads Crest Ridge 47-8. Liberty leading Mountain Grove 14-13. And that's where we'll stop there with the rest of the ranked matchups. So we're about to get started with the second half of play. We'll go ahead and take a 1-minute timeout. We'll be back for the second half kickoff. Back in 1 minute. You're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here once again, Tiger Stadium. Apologies for my color commentator, very unprofessional. But we are getting back to it here, and it will be Waynesville to start off with the football. Come on, man. 12 minutes on the clock. Waynesville leading by 42 points, 48-6. So again, the turbo clock going to come into effect after the opening kickoff. But we'll see what Waynesville can do here on offense. Again, 40 points in the first quarter here today, getting way out in front. You know, Garrett, you and I always talked about the importance of starting off good. They kind of overachieved in that category. They started off great.
They certainly did. Struggling to get started in the last couple of games. They really broke through here. Really interested to see how they get started here again in the second half. A lot can happen in a whole half of football. Another impressive start is important right here.
Onside kick here to start the half. That ball's going to be free and open, and I think Hillcrest may have fallen on it. No, it might still be open. And we'll see I think Waynesville was able to fall on it in the end. So, woo, very dangerous way to start off the half, as that was a lovely onside kick there from the kicker. I do believe that was Jay Carazala's. But the Tigers do recover. They'll have first down and 10, ball on their own 41-yard line.
Shaky start already, but you're going to have that every once in a while. Hillcrest Hornets likely onside kicking fairly often from this point forward anytime they get the opportunity.
Yeah, again, they're going to need 5 touchdowns to get back into this one. It is a 42-point game. No, 6 touchdowns, I do believe. Yes, 6 touchdowns at this point. It's going to be a quarterback keeper here. First down, David Vernon looking towards the right sideline. Jukes back to his left. Across midfield he goes. Now into Hillcrest territory. Down to the 47-yard line here. So a solid gain. First down and 10 for David Vernon.
Vernon's been pretty good so far in this game. Kind of getting the ball a little bit more than Bishop Godwin here, especially on designed run plays. Wonder if that continues throughout the season.
Again, first down and 10 here. The clock tick, tick, ticks. Already a minute gone by. Say it one more time here. That turbo clock is in effect. 35 points at the half. So as long as Waynesville keeps it above 35, we'll just keep moving right along here. Wingback formation. Thomas Plummer to the left. Here's a direct snap. Guess who it is? Michael Kelsey Jr. into the secondary. He hasn't lost a step. He's going to find his way to the 32-yard line. So that's good news for us. Michael Kelsey Jr. back into the game. Looks like maybe just a little bit of a stinger, maybe a little bit of pain, maybe caught a helmet the wrong way or something. But he's back in it, and he's got a big gain here on first down.
Certainly does. Will not be denied. I think he recognizes this as kind of a breakout game for him. He does not want it to end with just the 131 yards he got in the first half, adding a couple to it right there.
Yeah, of course, the sophomore here, kind of the heir apparent to the offense past this season and beyond. Getting lots of yards on the ground here tonight. So first down and 10, but Waynesville taking their time coming up to the line. Now already down to 9 minutes, 40 seconds in the quarter. Kelsey Jr. in the backfield. Thomas Plummer also as well. New formation here, and that's going to be a handoff to Kelsey Jr. Into the secondary he goes again as he gets past the 25-yard line to around the 22. So 2 backs in the backfield that time. Haven't seen that formation tonight. Couple fakes, hands it off to Kelsey Jr. And he'll find himself 9 yards on the carry. Second down and 1.
You love to see Coach Barkley kind of maybe getting a little cute with it here, trying out a couple new things, seeing what works. Barkley, a very big proponent of trying new things in the game. You're never going to get a full game speed view of something when you're just in practice, no matter how hard you tell the players to practice. When you can try something like this that's brand new, or at least brand new to our eyes, in a game time situation, it really lets you know how effective it is.
Snap here to Vernon, gonna hand it off, jet sweep, Thomas Plummer slashes through, finds the gap. Into the red zone we go, and he's gonna find his way to the 11-yard line. So first down and 10, but needing to get to the 1 to theoretically move those chains. At that point, just stretch it out and score.
You would hope so for sure. I mean, the Waynesville offense has done that so far in this game very, very well, stretching the football out and making sure that they get all the extra yardage that they can.
So first down and 10 again. Ball on the 11-yard line. 8 minutes to go now in the quarter. That's what that was.
This is my pencil
dropping. Me. I thought somebody was invading our booth. Can't do that.
Maybe another wasp trying to sneak in here.
I'm already very paranoid. But anyway, first down and 10. Approaching the line of scrimmage. Thomas Plummer, the wing back to the left. DJ Horry, the tight end. Vernon with it. Going to his left. In a little bit of trouble here. Flag thrown as Vernon finds his way into the end zone. Would be a touchdown, but there is a flag on the play. And dare I say, I think we know what this is going to be. It's going to be holding called here against Waynesville. So, unfortunately, that'll wipe the touchdown off the board. It'll be first down. Well, we'll see where they mark it off here. It is going to back them up to about the 21. So first down and 20 now. Still needing to get to the 1-yard line. Hasn't been quite the problem tonight as it has been in previous weeks, though, Garrett. Last penalty we saw out from Waynesville had the 30-yard situation.
Yeah, it's a little bit better than that on this one.
Well, Yeah, well, 20 yards. But we've seen them in situations like this tonight, and they've been pretty good at converting them anyway. We'll see if they have what it takes here. In very virtually a first down and goal situation. Vernon with it, jukes to his right, into some room, past the 15, jukes at another Hillcrest defender, and gets to around the 11. So back to the original line of scrimmage he goes. It's a gain of 10, second down and 10.
And he took 2 or 3 hits on that, but able to stay up. I was very impressed with Vernon on that one. Took a couple hits to the hip, kind of stopped in the middle, regained his balance, and kept moving forward.
They're going to give him 9 yards after all, which means second down and 11. Vernon coming back in from the sideline, already halfway through the third quarter. This is a 6-minute drive again with that turbo clock. Clock would have been moving quite a bit anyway. Waynesville always loving to run the football, but still running after the play. The ball doesn't even have to be reset for that clock to continue on. So it still does speed up the game to some effect, even with a running offense like this. Here we go, second down and 11. Thomas Plummer set in motion. Going to be a handoff, though, to Kelsey Jr. up the middle. Pushing, shoving, reaching. And he's going to be close to that first down marker. Might be about a yard shy. And that he'll be. It'll be third down. Third down, and, well, they're going to say 2 yards. So, gain of 9 once again. Third down and 2. Ball on the 3-yard line.
It's a 9-yard carry.
CTP gets those extra yards through kind of pushing. Kelsey Jr. gets those yards by running into the tackle so fast that he can't be brought down immediately.
Here we go, third down and 2. Nice recovery. Kelsey Jr. on the direct snap, juking, reaching. Did he find his way in? Yes, he did. Hear the Tiger roar. Touchdown. Touchdown run number 3 for Michael Kelsey Jr. And that'll put the score back to 54-6. Wiped it off the board before the half, but Waynesville marching down the field and gets it right back on the board.
I love the option game that the Waynesville Tigers are kind of bringing into the football game right now. The Hornets have no idea where the ball is going, and Tigers can almost do no wrong with whoever ends up with the football.
2-point conversion upcoming here. Play clock down to about 10. Waynesville still in the huddle, though. Needs to hurry. Now down to 5. 4-3, still not set. 1, and they're not going to get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. That'll back them up 5 yards. Back to the 7 we go here for the 2-point conversion. But while we have some time here, I do want to go ahead and remind you that that touchdown by the Waynesville Tigers means another $25 donated to the Waynesville High School Athletic Program by Ed Morse Ford of St. Robert, Waynesville. Ed Morse Ford, always a big supporter of the Waynesville schools. Find out what it means to be backed by Morse. Lots of money being donated to the athletic program here tonight.
And that's always something good to see. I mean, I feel like you're trying to do the math in your head. I
am.
Certainly am not, because I'm not going to get there by any
7
means.
touchdowns tonight. 7 times 25. That's $175 donated by Ed Morse Ford tonight. Thomas Plummer set in motion here on the 2-point conversion, but it's a handoff to Kelsey Jr. Huge gap for him to run through. And again, that option play continued to just give the Hornets fits, as that'll put another 2 on the board. So a 50-point lead here with 5:09 left to go in the third quarter. 56-6 your score. We'll take ourselves another 60-second timeout. Come back in a moment. You're listening to Tiger Football, Z102.3. Zaquan Henderson fielding the kickoff at the 15-yard line. He's got room to go up the right sideline. Big collision about the 50-yard line where he shoved out of bounds. That's where we'll see the Hornets take over. 56-6. our score. The latest touchdown, 3 yards for Michael Kelsey Jr. Again, as that turbo clock once again starts running even after the opening kickoff and going out of bounds. We'll see what the Hornets have. We'll see what adjustments they've made coming out of the locker room. Their lone touchdown today, touchdown run for their quarterback. That would be Cole Griesmer, of course. Griesmer taking it on in from 6 yards out. See if they can't find anything here. Waynesville still with the starters on board. Still got the first teamers out on both sides as Griesmer backs off, throw to the right, pass is going to be caught. That's going to be Filia on the catch. Able to sneak on through some Tiger defenders, still on his feet. He's got the first down, still going through. Waynesville needs to finish the tackle. And he's finally taken down, but not before he's able to get to the 35-yard line. Maybe Waynesville a little bit zeroed on trying to strip that ball away. You still got to make the tackle, and there is a hurt Tiger on the play. Still got to finish off that tackle, though, to finish that point.
You certainly do. I mean, getting the ball away is great, but when you're up this big, just get the guy down. It looks like the down Tiger right now holding his left leg.
Yeah, it looks like he's holding his ankle, and that's going to be Chris Scott, the injured Tiger, on the play. So we're going to go and take an injury timeout. We'll go ahead and send it on to break. We'll be back here in 60 seconds. See where we go from there. You're listening to Tiger Football, Z102.3. Again, Chris Scott, the injured Tiger, as we get back to action here. He does walk off under his own power, but does favor that left leg a little bit here. So hopefully he is all right. Hopefully we can see him get back in the ball game here sooner rather than later. Back to it, though. First down and 10. Handoff. Here comes David Sample through the middle. He has himself the first down. Going to get all the way to about the 21-yard line. So this is about as explosive as we've seen Hillcrest tonight. 2 plays, about 30 yards, an average of 15 yards per play.
Very impressive so far. Once Dante Sample can get going from the running back position, very hard to bring him down. Run blocking showing up a little bit better than they have in the first couple of games of the season.
Just outside the red zone now. First down and 10. Pistol formation, 2 wide receivers each side. Snap, looking to pass, pump fakes, now throws, right side, but a little bit underthrown. And now we might have an injured Hornet. Hornet still down, and again, we'll get a ref's whistle here. So an injured Hornet now. As we'll move back to the sideline once again. Hey, important to note, looks like up front on the defensive line, looks like we've got some new players in the ball game here. Out of the ball game, your players like Nico Fowl, Jacob Forche. In the ball game, I see down there Miguel Escobedo. I see down there, I believe that might be Isaiah Hopper into the ball game. So starting to see some players coming in here to the ball games. And you like moments like this where you can start to get those players of the future some time. Escobedo, a junior, of course he'll be a returning senior next year. You've got Hopper out there, of course those just the 2 of many, but Hopper's a sophomore. You've got players out there starting to get a little bit more playing time. We've seen Hopper even with the starters, even with some of the first stringers here today.
Yeah, the guys who usually get just a couple of snaps a game are getting into the game probably a little bit more consistently now as this second half wears on. And we talked about that a moment ago with Coach Barkley of the Waynesville Tigers with plays. You love to see kind of a new plays or new dimensions into the playbook in game time situations. Right now, you're also seeing new players, or new-ish players, we should say, getting into the game. A lot of players can show off in practice. They can show up. They can do everything they need to do, be very impressive. And then whenever a game time hits, it just goes a little too quick for them. So right now they're able to adjust to that now instead of when they're starting maybe their senior or junior years on down the line. Great for the growth and development of these younger guys.
Yeah, still got the first stringers out there secondary-wise, as here's another handoff to Sample on 2nd down and 10. Juking off to his left, going to need a host of Tigers to take him down. So he gets to around the 15-yard line. Looks to be a gain of about 7 on the play. Third down. Third down, and actually they're going to make it about 4. Took away a yard there, so 3rd down and 4. As Jaquantes Hightower makes the stop there. So, players out on the field right now. Again, like I said, you've got mostly the first stringer secondary out there. You've got Brooks. You've got Hedrick. You've got Registe. You've got Thomas Plummer out there. Again, that is usually your starters as far as secondary goes. But up front, getting some of the younger guys, some of the heirs apparent, to use that phrase like the 3rd time this game here today. Griezmann looking over to the right here, might tuck and run. He's going to do so. Flag thrown on the play as he's taken down about the 3-yard line. Flag came well behind the play. Escobedo thrown to the ground, but it's going to be holding call here against Hillcrest. So that'll negate the big gain. And we'll do it 3rd down, but from behind the original line of scrimmage. Bit of a lucky break there for Waynesville.
It is, and that's tough if you're a Hornets fan right there. You're starting to kind of move down the field. Finally, that spark is starting to get there. Then you have a big play like that lost to a penalty. That hurts, and that's something that Waynesville Tigers definitely can relate to over the past couple of games.
So 1:20 left in the quarter. Again, backing them up. And that'll make it 3rd down and 14. Instead of 3rd down and 4. Again, 3rd down and 14. So, past the minute mark here in quarter number 3. Back to the pistol formation is Griezmann. Running back, Sample, 2 wide receivers each side. Taking the snap, fakes the handoff. Looking to follow Sample through the gap here. He's got the left sideline, he's got the 20, he's got the 15. Pushed out of bounds, he's going to be short, and we're going to have a 4th down upcoming here. But obviously, this situation, you're going to go for it. 4th down and 3 here upcoming.
Interesting play calling so far by Coach Coleman. Usually, you like to run your quarterback maybe a little bit earlier in the game, get him kind of feeling himself. Running him in a point like this is a little confusing and a little scary. It can be at times. You definitely don't want to lose your 3rd quarterback of the year.
Yeah, again, we talked about in the pregame. Griezmann, the 4th quarterback that Hillcrest has seen this season. Pure quarterback as well. 5 wide receiver set. Griezmann rolling out to the right. Pointing out traffic, trying to find a gap. Has a gap. Pass is caught at the goal line. Is he going to be in? I think he's going to be a yard shy. So it's going to be 1st and goal at the 1. Very similar play to something we saw in the first half. Amari Clark just wide open across the middle. He's able to take advantage of maybe the Waynesville defensive backs playing a bit off there and give him a 1st and goal situation. But that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. When we come back, we'll have 12 minutes on the board. Again, Waynesville pretty much an insurmountable lead here at this point. 56-6 here in this one, cruising towards that 2nd win of the season. We'll be back here in 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Back here to Tiger Stadium once again. 12 minutes left to go here in this one. 56-6, but Hillcrest knocking on the door. As they come up to the line, the quarterback sneak. Is he going to find his way in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, Hillcrest. Cole Griesmer, second rushing touchdown of the day. This time from 1 yard out. And that'll cut the lead again to 44 points, 56-12. Again, pretty much out of hand here at this point, but Hillcrest, again, always nice to kind of score those momentum-building touchdowns. It kind of feels like we've been saying that the other week for us. It still rings true, even though we are out in front here in this one.
It certainly does. You love to just get as many points as you can, kind of have something to build on. You know, as much game tape as possible for you to go back and watch and see what you can improve. And if you can do that throughout a game, it feels just as good.
2-point conversion, moving to the left-hand side.
Was a flag down on the play there.
Flag down. They were short, so depending on the flag here, might just shuffle off to the opening kickoff or the next kickoff. It's going to be false start here against Hillcrest. Legal procedure, excuse me. And so the 2-point conversion will still fail. So, make it a 44-point ball game still. 56-12 your score with 10:43 left to go here in this one. We'll come right back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Waynesville Tiger Football, Z102.3. Back here once again, Tiger Stadium. The attempted onside kick by the Hillcrest Hornets flies out of bounds. Hillcrest kicker Jay Carzal is catching a little bit too much of that one. Means Waynesville will take it over here, I do believe. Here with 9 minutes left to go in this one. Waynesville leading 56-12. So, some new players in the ball game for Waynesville on the offensive side as well. And it looks like taking over the offense, Brian Castro. Castro, of course, getting plenty of experience in that jamboree a few weeks ago, if you can remember all the way back then. He's going to be tasked with leading the offense from this point forward. Got to get the binoculars out here. Going to identify some players for you. It's quarterback keeper here for Castro on first down. Run into some trouble, though. He's going to lose a few on first down. It's going to be about second down and 12. Loss of 2 on the previous play. So you've got Castro in there. Looks like also out on the field, Anthony Cortesini as well.
Number 13, Brandon Palezzo just came in for Castro, kind of looking to switch back and forth. Same thing they did with Vernon and Godwin.
Yeah, plenty of new players. Again, much like on the defensive side, you love to see this. You love to see some of the players who are going to be on next year's squad, going to get maybe some more playing time, get this experience. Again, Brandon Howard, normally see him as a return man. He's your current wingback. Here's a ball dropped. Bit of a bad snap situation. Trying to direct snap to Palezzo, but he is able to fall on it. Keep possession, but that's going to be third down and long here. Third down and about 16 to go. Loss of 4.
Game speed is a little bit different than any practice or jamboree like we saw earlier in the year. They'll adjust for sure, though. The, as you have said, heir apparents of the Waynesville Tiger offense and
I'm so glad
defense.
you're using that now.
I had never used it before in my life until I've heard it from you a few times now, and I like it, I gotta say.
Took a few classes on medieval history. So again, Castro, the sophomore, in at quarterback, takes a snap, jet sweep back the other way. Howard juking off to his right, still on his feet. Gets around to the 45-yard line. Not going to be enough for the first down, but still a solid gain of about 10 yards on the play. And again, Howard, normally a return man. But right there, we saw a little bit of the return man, Howard. Jukin, left, right. Able to create himself some more yardage there. And Waynesville will see him go for it here on 4th down.
Took the words almost right out of my mouth. That's why he's the return man, is what I was going to say. You give this guy some open space with some good run blocking. If he can make something happen out of it, 10 yards right there.
Yeah, not necessarily the biggest guy on the field, 5'8", 145 pounds, but he is a sophomore and showed some impressive elusiveness on that previous play. So here we go, Waynesville going for it here. 2 backs in the backfield. It's going to be a reverse. Howard, a little bit of trouble in the backfield. Now going to try to cut up the sideline. He's got the first down. He's going to be able to step out of bounds, but not before he crosses the first down. So maybe Brandon Howard, another player who could step up here. Obviously showing off the speed there as he was able to find the edge.
And the last 2 plays have gone for big positive yardage, both for Howard, and both in different ways. One a run kind of up the middle, diving and dipping in between tackles. This one's shooting straight to the sideline, getting out there, making the corner, and making a couple yards go behind him.
Rashad Joshua into the ball game now, replacing Howard. Getting kind of a revolving door of players here at the moment. Players sent in and out. Of course, not to mention those big guys on the offensive line as well. Not to completely ignore them there. We'll get a few of those names here in a moment. Direct snap, Palezzo on the carry. Past the original line of scrimmage, pushed back, but not before he does get a couple. Maybe about 3 on 1st down. Let's see who we got down there. We've got, that's Braylon Scott down there. We've got Caleb Salinas. We've got Caden King down there as well. Dylan Smith still in the ball game, but of course he gets plenty of snaps. Still kind of in there, leading the way as that fullback. See if we can identify a few more here after the 2nd down and 7. Palezzo with the snap, keeps it himself on the option. Hit and taken down, maybe a short gain of about 1. Another couple players sent back in. Here comes Franklin Myers. And also Chris Alonzo. Again, very much 3 players in, 3 players out. So if you're wondering why I keep just naming names, I think I've gone past the 11 name point. That's just because we've got plenty of players here getting some varsity time. You love to see it, especially on homecoming week. You want to impress in front of the crowd here. Plenty of the crowd still in attendance here tonight.
You're absolutely right. A lot of grandmas, grandpas, aunts, and uncles coming to the game for maybe the first time all season, seeing their baby boy get in there.
3rd down and 6. Here's a handoff to Castro. Castro cutting back to his left. A nice cut. Good decision there as he's going to get around the 1st down marker. 4th down and inches. 4:20 left to go here in the ball game. 2nd, 4th down here. This time, much, much shorter. 4th down and inches, like I said.
A good play by Castro, just getting those reps in. I mean, it's been. I think we can finally say domination for the Waynesville Tigers. I think the time has passed.
We really could have said that at the end of the 1st quarter, but you are certainly right. It's been such a dominant game for Waynesville. That start, obviously, not many teams going to score 40 points in 1 quarter, but 3 turnovers, 5 sacks in the 1st quarter alone. Yeah, I think you're right. Castro again on the direct snap here, spins around, able to find himself the 1st down. Needed 1, got 2, good enough.
Absolutely right. Clock only down to 3.5 minutes left in the game right now. Another 1st down extends this one even further. Waynesville in no hurry to get some plays in. They're more focused on getting their guys in there, as many as possible. And you can see him celebrating on the sideline. Seemingly every time a new player goes into the game and another one comes out.
Yeah, Miguel Escobedo, who we've seen on the defensive side, he comes out of the game. Also in the game right now, Carter Pondrum. Up on that offensive line. 1st down and 10 after the 2nd, 4th down conversion. Handoff, Brandon Howard in a whole lot of trouble, but he's able to keep himself free. Still trying to find the sideline, cuts it up, actually gets a few. That was impressive speed there by Howard. He at no point had himself open space, but finally able to cut it up near the sideline for a gain of 2.
Yeah, that was a long way to run to get 2 yards right there from Howard. Just trying to find the sideline, get out, and get as many yards as possible. That looked like a bad loss of yardage for the Tigers for a moment, but Howard making something out of nothing.
Absolutely. great quality that a lot of the Waynesville running backs do share. We've seen Thomas Plummer, we've seen Kelsey Jr. do that quite a bit, and now we know Howard can do the same. Here's a fake to Howard. It's going to be Polizzo on the carry. He's got himself some space. He's got himself a nice gap. He gets himself to about the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Second down and 3. 2 minutes left to go now in the ballgame. So Waynesville going to improve to 2-4 on the season with the win. And again, heading to another road game next week. Next week, we're on the road, headed to Bolivar for a matchup with the Liberators. Again, Bolivar on the losing end of things right now in their own contest this week. But again, taking another 90-minute trip. All of our trips are 90 minutes, it seems. And I know what you're going to say, other than the trip to West Plains, which is a little bit longer. But
A little bit longer. The trip to Lebanon, a little bit shorter for me.
Well, I thought you were going to say for me. Here we go, man set in motion. It's actually going to be a rough snap as Polizzo going to have to try to take it himself here. Tackle well behind the line. And we'll have another 4th down here. It's going to be a 4th down and 5.
Not even 100% sure where Bolivar is. That's a true statement. It's not a negative on Bolivar whatsoever. It's more that I just don't know the area very well.
It's all 90 minutes away, honestly. And, you know, I played against Bolivar a couple times back in high school, and, you know, I was a sleeper on the bus. So I wouldn't see any road signs. So, again, no slight on Bolivar. I think you're right. It's off towards southwest Missouri, of course. It's off in that direction. Very close, pretty close to it.
Thank goodness for Google Maps.
Absolutely. Here's a flag thrown prior to the snap. False start going to be called against Waynesville. Back him up 5 yards. You know, honestly, and this is going to sound really bad, if you put a map of Missouri and said there are no towns on this map, point out Springfield, I'm pretty sure I couldn't pinpoint it. Is that bad to not know the geography of your own state?
Maybe. I mean, I've been in the area for a long time. I can pinpoint Springfield just because I've been out there for quite a while. And as we're talking about,
yeah, I mean, I forgot about
geography.
You know, geography is great and all, but you know what is also great is the final score: 56-12. Waynesville comes up with their 2nd win of the season here tonight. Again, a dominating performance for the Tigers as they head on into that matchup with Bolivar, wherever it may be, with a whole lot of momentum here. So what we're going to do what we always do. We're going to take ourselves a couple of minutes. We're going to get everything set in stone here. We're going to come back. We'll have your scoring summary. We'll have some final numbers for you. And again, we'll take one final check of some final scores from around the area. But again, final score 56-12 in favor of Waynesville. Back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Tiger Football right here, Z102.3. Back here once again to Tiger Stadium. This game in the books, Waynesville, a 44-point victory over Hillcrest here tonight. Final score 56-12. So right now honoring the homecoming player of the game. Actually kind of waiting to see who they announce as player of the game. So kind of holding on with bated breath here as we continue on with our post-game activities here. But it is given to a senior. We'll find out here shortly. I'm taking bets. It's on the defensive side of things here, Garrett. The defense ultimately very, very good looking here tonight. Really helped put this game out of the way early on.
It really did. I mean, at any point, if you find yourself with a 40-point lead, you know both sides of the football are working together very impressively, and that was the same thing tonight. I mean, several sacks. I believe the final total was 5 sacks on the night tonight. A couple of interceptions as well for the Waynesville defense. Firing on all cylinders. Absolute domination is the best way to describe this. And that's not to say that the Hillcrest Hornets didn't play the best game possible with the injuries they've had throughout the season. But the healthy and the motivated and the hungry Tiger defense and Tiger offense ate up a lot of yards and a lot of scores tonight.
Yeah, I mean, really, when you take a look at the numbers here, you really paint a picture of how dominant that first quarter was. All of the sacks, all of the turnovers came in the first quarter alone. Weren't able to get any turnovers or sacks past that point, but 40 points in one quarter is just incredible stuff. So, again, congratulations to Waynesville picking up victory number 2 this season and taking a whole lot of momentum into next week's road contest against the Bolivar Liberators. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the scoring summary as Garrett continues to work on those stats for you. Things got started 4 minutes into the first quarter. Of course, after kind of a slow start to begin the quarter here, it was Waynesville able to pick up the turnover on downs, brought the ball back the other direction. David Vernon, 16-yard touchdown run. His one and only touchdown run of the day made it 8-0, but he wasn't done scoring as he then found his way through the air for a touchdown pass, 12 yards, to what has really become his favorite target on the season. Josh Bess made the catch, 5:57 left to go in the first, 16-0 in favor of Waynesville. Just about a minute later, 3 yards. Chase Thomas Plummer finds his one touchdown on the day, makes it 24-0. Sorry about the delays. Still just kind of waiting for the announcement of the homecoming player of the game, as I'm sure everybody's excited to know.
Wearing number 6, senior.
Oh, it's going to be David Vernon. David Vernon announced as the player of the game, who, of course, we just finished talking about. Touchdown pass today, and also a touchdown to the ground. Also did some work on the defensive side of the ball there as well. So congratulations to David for his performance here tonight. So back to the scoring summary, though. 36 yards, longest play of the game for Michael Kelsey Jr. here today. And that, of course, with 3:03 left to go in the first quarter, made it 32-0. Finally, they'd finish things off here with a defensive touchdown. Waynesville would, so dominant, got their own score. 16-yard fumble recovery for Johnny Hedrick with 2:48 left to go. That made it 40-0. A couple touchdowns in the second quarter. First of all, Hillcrest getting their first score of the day, a 6-yard touchdown run by the quarterback Cole Griesmer. 7:12 left to go in the quarter, made it 40-6. But 4 minutes later, it would be Michael Kelsey Jr. finding his second touchdown of the day, a 4-yard run that made the halftime score 48-6. Just 2 scores in the second half. 1 score in the third quarter was Michael Kelsey Jr. hitting pay dirt for the third time from 3 yards out. 5:09 left to go in the quarter, 56-6. Hillcrest scoring the game's final points today, a 1-yard touchdown run for Griesmer. That made it the final score of 56-12. So, hey, we're going to take one final time out here. Garrett's still working ever so diligently on those stats. We'll come back here in 2 minutes. That should be enough for him to catch up here. We'll come back. We'll go ahead and wrap things up, and then we'll send you on your way to Bolivar next Friday, but also maybe some softball tomorrow. We'll talk about that in the upcoming schedule as well. But again, back in 2 minutes, you're listening to Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Welcome back here to Tiger Stadium, where, again, this one in the books. We are in our post-game coverage tonight. Waynesville overcomes Hillcrest 56-12, taking advantage of a 40-point first quarter to really kind of coast to the victory here today. Not a whole lot of coasting, though. Waynesville playing hard basically through the final whistle here. But again, like we said, Garrett, that 40-point quarter, he just really couldn't ignore. And it really kind of translated into a great first half. The second half stats, though, Waynesville still able to pick up some yards. What have you got for us here tonight?
Yeah, the total game stats are very impressive for the Waynesville offense. I mean, of course, the second half not necessarily as explosive as the first half, but they didn't need to be. Pretty plain and simple there. So, of course, and I believe yours as well, MVP of the game tonight, Michael Kelsey Jr., number 20. He's a sophomore, and he showed up on homecoming night against the Hillcrest Hornets. 173 yards, 3 touchdowns. He could have ran forever tonight. He had a little bit of an injury scare coming out of the last one of the last plays of the half, but he got up and busted downfield on one of the first plays of the third quarter. It was for 15 yards, kind of reminding us, hey guys, I'm here. I'm still playing. Another impressive guy on the field tonight, of course, Chase Thomas Plummer. When isn't he? Didn't have as many yards in the second half. Didn't really need to once again. 71 yards in the first half. He finishes the game with 82 and a touchdown as well there. David Vernon, who was the senior who got the homecoming player of the game tonight, 58 total yards on the ground. He had 22 yards through the air. Of course, that one touchdown pass and the one rushing touchdown as well for him. One of my favorite things, and yours as well, to see throughout the night, though, was kind of the newbies, the heir apparents, as they have recently earned the
as
nickname
they've been
of.
christened, yes.
They've been kind of getting into the game here in the last quarter to kind of shut the game down. Couple of 2-3 yard runs coming in every once in a while. A lot of that yardage coming from Brandon Howard, Brandon Palezzo, and Brian Castro, the 3 Bs of the Waynesville Tiger offense. Killer Bees, all amounting to 25 yards on just a few plays. Very impressive for them tonight. So for a total scrimmage yards for the Waynesville Tigers, 360 yards, 8 touchdowns. It was a great, great night for them. Of course, one of those touchdowns, also a forced fumble recovery for a touchdown on a great defensive night as well. For the Hillcrest Hornets, not as good of an offensive night for them. Cole Griesmer, definitely the MVP on the Hillcrest side as well. He had 2 rushing touchdowns for a total of about 27, 28 yards on the ground. A lot of in-between game. He was very mobile out, getting out of the pocket and delivering the ball downfield. He has 75 pass yards on the night tonight, and he's been really impressive in just the 2 or 3 games he started at quarterback. Waynesville, though, able to hold him to much less yards than a lot of other teams throughout the area. So definitely impressive there for the Waynesville Tiger defense.
Absolutely. And so, of course, we're going to go ahead and keep it locked in right here today. Again, very solid offensive numbers for this Waynesville squad. Let's go and look at some final scores, or maybe just some scores from around the area, as we might be one of the first games to finish up here tonight with that turbo clock for the entirety of the second half. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Ozark Conference first. Is what we've got for you here. Lebanon, they lead Glendale 42-0 there in that one. So if you didn't think the Yellow Jackets were really a force to be reckoned with in the Ozark Conference, there you go. Glendale, no slouch of a team, but Lebanon leads big over there. Camdenton, they defeat Bolivar, our future opponents here tonight, 56-14. So we'll see the Liberators next week. And then you have Kickapoo. They still lead West Plains here at the moment, 21-6. In the fourth quarter. So, again, that is a Class 6 versus Class 4 matchup, but Kickapoo so far, they've got the advantage over the ranked West Plains Zizzers. Of course, final score here tonight, 56-12. They actually have not updated our score, but a district opponent, they have themselves a final score. Branson Falls tonight, actually able to keep it kind of close in the second half. Remember, down big at the half. They end up finishing with a 50-31 final score there against Neosho. Then you have Rolla. They defeat Parkview 49-0 here tonight, and that's really the look at the rest of the conference. Class 5, number 1, Carthage. Wanted to go ahead and report this as well, 49-7 in favor of the Tigers. But again, another victory for the Tigers right here in Waynesville. 56-12 your final scores. We go ahead and wrap things up. For my partner, Garrett Bowles, I am Connor Harbit. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed listening to this one as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you here tonight. Until next week, you've been listening to Waynesville Tiger Football right here on Z102.3. Good night, everybody. Be Be good people.